know what it is, but it's there. You can feel it.
Get up on out the bed, start to move your balls. And pick up a word in Solomon Jones. Word. You better wake up now.
Good morning. This is Solomon Jones on 900 AM and 96.1 FM WURD, and I want to welcome you to another edition of Wake Up with Word. It's going to be a beautiful day today. It's going to be a hot one today in more ways than one, because you know what today is, right? You know what today is, Kawesa. Today is the day that we go out to the Fresh Grocer at 4160 Monument Road and wreck shop. That's right. We were preparing last night. We were strategizing last night for that barbecue contest with my son, Brother Akbar Hassan, and the queen of barbecue, my wife, Mrs. Levita Jones. That's right. The Solomon Jones team is in effect. We want you to be there at that Word Food and Wellness Festival. That is going to be today from 1 to 5 p.m., and we look forward to seeing each and every one of you there. There are a number of things that are going to be going on at that festival today, and we want you to renew your Word membership. You can do that today at that discounted rate of $75. We want you to bring the kids so they can jump up and down in the moon bounce. We want you to bring yourself so that I can see you, shake your hand, talk to you in person, and just express some love, man, because we love our listeners, and we look forward to seeing you today. Just a whole lot going on, with everything, including that Democratic debate that took place last night with that second panel of people. There's still too many people to me, but I think that several people stood out, and one of the people who stood out last night was, of course, Kamala Harris. But before we get to that, I want to talk about this because this is important. The Supreme Court said yesterday that federal courts have to stay out of disputes over when politicians go too far in drawing district lines for partisan gain. That means Republican or Democratic gain. That decision is a dramatic and sweeping ruling that could fundamentally affect the balance of power in state legislatures and in Congress. The decision is going to minimize the influence of minority parties in states where one party controls the governor's office and the legislature, and where lawmakers are in charge of drawing district lines. Already, Democratic victories in lower courts against GOP-drawn maps in Michigan and Ohio are now on track to be undone. The other thing that also happened was they said, nah, you can't ask a census question about citizenship. That is a win for blue states like Pennsylvania. I know it was purple last time, but for blue states like Pennsylvania, that is a win because the bottom line is that if you can scare brown people out of answering the census, right, and thus decrease their numbers in blue states, then that means that those states get less money. That's what it means. It means they get less money. It means they get less representation. It means they get screwed by this question on the census. Because the bottom line is this, that in America, we are supposed to count the amount of people that are here. If we are going to say, give us your tired, give us your poor, give us your huddling masses yearning to breathe free, then we got to count everybody, and we got to do it every single time. All right, so we got a hot show for you today on Wake Up with Word. We got registered nurse Talia Gottesman on what employees want with 2,500 jobs on the line at Hahnemann Hospital. Taylor Allen of Colorado Public Radio on the journalistic controversy over pictures of 2 dead migrants from El Salvador. Financial consultant Akbar Hassan answers your money questions. And Brother Shamari thinks he can win the barbecue contest. Well, he's going to join us to tell us why. And as always, we've got you, our listeners, calling in at 215-634-8065 or toll free 1-866-361-0900. But first, it's the big three, the stories you need to know to kick off your day right here on Wake Up with Word. Story number one, the Pennsylvania Department of Health is throwing employees of Hahnemann University Hospital a lifeline as nurses and labor union leaders rallied outside City Hall to keep the facility open. The state ordered Hahnemann to cease and desist its closure plans on Thursday. In a cease and desist letter, Health Secretary Dr. Rachel Levine said state officials determine an immediate closure of the hospital or termination of services without a state-approved plan may cause irreparable harm to the health and safety of the patients in the city. Of course, we're going to have a registered nurse joining us tonight to talk about that. Kawesa, what do you think? Hahnemann University Hospital in Center City, Trauma Center, needs to be open.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, it should stay open. From what I was reading, it looked like there was going to be a reprieve at least for a little bit, but that it most likely eventually will shut down. So, you know, hopefully a little bit later we'll be hearing maybe some better news. I know they had a news conference the other day, so, you know, but I do hope that it stays open. So then that way people can keep their jobs.
Yeah, and of course, black women front and center in a number of things, including that Democratic debate last night, just front and center in every single thing that is happening and going on. One of those black women, Senator Kamala Harris. Let's take a listen.
I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me. So I will tell you that on this subject, it cannot be an intellectual debate among Democrats. We have to take it seriously. We have to act swiftly. Do you agree today that you were wrong to oppose busing in America then?
No,
do you agree?
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I opposed.
Well,
I
there
did
was
not
a
oppose
failure of states to integrate public schools in America. I was part of the second class to integrate Berkeley, California public schools almost 2 decades after Brown v. Board of Education.
Because your city council made that decision. It was a local decision.
So that's where the federal government must step in. That's why we have the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. That's why we need to pass the Equality Act. That's why we need to pass the ERA.
And so that is Senator Kamala Harris coming at Joe Biden's neck about the issue of segregation, about the issue of school busing. I want to know if you saw that debate last night, and what did you think? Did Kamala Harris kind of climb out of that second tier of candidates and climb into the ranks of the front runners last night? I want to know what you think about that. That's one black woman that I want to talk about, but there is also a second, and she's not on the national stage. She's in Alabama, and Alabama is the center of the war on black women. How else to explain the curious case of Marsha Jones, who was 5 months pregnant when she was shot during an argument with another woman? It all started last December at a shopping mall outside Birmingham when Jones and Ebony Jamison started fighting over the father of Jones's child. Jamison shot Jones in the stomach, killing the unborn baby, and at first, police did the right thing. They charged the shooter with manslaughter. But after the case went to a grand jury, prosecutors dropped the case against the shooter and instead charged Jones, the victim, in the death of her own child. They claim Jones started the fight that led to the child's death and that the other woman shot Jones in self-defense. I wasn't there, but I know this. That's nonsense. Because Jones has already been victimized by a woman who shot her in the stomach. She's already been victimized by the bullet that took her child. She's already been victimized by the trauma of what happened. And now the state of Alabama wants to punish Jones for getting shot in the first place. For authorities in Alabama, who just passed the strictest anti-abortion laws in the country, This is about abortion and what they claim is their desire to protect the life of an unborn child. But when I look at this case, it has nothing to do with children. It's about painting a black victim as a criminal. It's about masquerading racism as justice. It's about making this woman the symbol of a fight that has nothing to do with her. But if we want to be honest about what's happening in Alabama, this is not new. Alabama is the same place where 4 black little girls were killed when a church was bombed during the Civil Rights Movement. Alabama is the same place where black prisoners were infected with disease during the Tuskegee experiments. Alabama is the same place where even today, black voters are disenfranchised through gerrymandering and trickery. We can't let Alabama get away with it again, not on our watch. This time, there has to be a national outcry over this injustice. This time, black folks everywhere must stand up and say this is wrong. This time, there can't be any ambiguity about where we stand. Marsha Jones lost her child, lost her freedom, and if we allow her to go through this alone, she just might lose her mind. We can't allow that to happen. Free Marsha Jones and for once, make Alabama do what's right. I want to hear from you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That is the number you can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD Radio. We want to hear from you. Marsha Jones, in case you're just joining us, was shot in the stomach during an argument with another woman in Alabama. She was 5 months pregnant at the time. At first, they charged the woman who shot her, just like anybody with sense would do. But then, in a crazy decision, they dropped the charges against the person who shot her and then charged the woman who got shot and lost her baby as a result. They charged the mother with manslaughter in the death of this child. The woman's name who has been charged, who lost her child, who was shot in the stomach, is named Marsha Jones. She is black. I'm assuming both women in this argument are black. But when I look at the fact that this woman has already been victimized by being shot, when I look at the fact that this woman has already been victimized by losing her child, when I look at the fact that anybody else who had something like this happen to them would be seen as a victim, to me, this is part of the war on women in general and on black women in particular that has been taking place in Alabama forever. And so I want to know what you think about that. Woman is shot in her stomach, loses her child, and she is charged with manslaughter in the death of her own child after she's the one that was shot. Is that justice in your view? I want to know what you think. 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That is the number you can call to get in on that conversation. The other thing we are talking about is this. We're talking about Kamala Harris at last night's debate. She came at Joe Biden. She had some of the best lines of the night. She stood out on that stage from the other candidates. Again, some of these people are people I have never seen before in my life talking about y'all running for president. Boy, if you don't sit down. But Kamala Harris stood out on that stage, stood out over, in my view, Bernie Sanders, stood out over Joe Biden, stood out over Pete Buttigieg, the guy they've been trying to push on us as the answer to everything, right? Stood out over Eric Swalwell, who looks great on CNN, not so great as president. Stood out over many of the people on that stage. And I want to know what you think. Did you see the debate? What did you think of Harris's performance? And if you didn't like her, who did you like? Who were the winners? Who were the losers? Who were the people who climbed in the ranks? And who were the people who fell? We're going to go to the phone lines. We're going to talk with Winifred in Strawberry Mansion on line 1. Go ahead, Winifred.
Hi, yes, good morning. You have so many interesting topics this morning. I've been trying to get this topic in. I don't know how many people recycle and if they know what's going on, but as of June 30th, we will no longer be able to get the gift cards. Someone in the mayor's office that came out of his office, they decided to discontinue those cards. And those cards used to come in handy. I'm a senior. I know other seniors who've utilized those cards for various items. As an example, I needed a new vacuum cleaner. So I got the Lowe's cards, and I saved a few of them, and then I added the rest of the money to it, and I was able to go get a new vacuum cleaner when Lowe's had a sale. Now all you get is $10 if you spend $20 at Bed Bath. $30 at Bed Bath & Beyond. $5 if you spend $40 at a Fresh Grocer, and a $1 Rita's Water Ice coupon. Well, I don't go to Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm not a Fresh Grocer shopper, and I don't use Rita's Water Ice, okay? And I feel that whoever made that decision in the mayor's office probably is making $100,000 or more a year and may not necessarily need these cards, but there are a lot of people who do, and I'm one of them, and I utilize them. And I think people need to call that mayor's office, because I called, and I believe the lady's name was Miss Morris. She promised to get back to me and let me know who made the decision and why it was made. It's been about 2 weeks now. I've heard nothing. And I just feel that it's really unfair to the consumers who religiously recycle and who can make use of those cards.
All right, so this is what I want you to do. Call your council person. Do you know who your council person is?
Yes, I do. We called their office yesterday.
Okay, well call them back and then call me back and let me know what happened. I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD Radio. We appreciate you. Well, I'm a Fresh Grocer shopper, so I'm going to be out at Fresh Grocer today at 4160 Monument Road, and we're going to be there today. We're going to be there this afternoon at the Fresh Grocer, so we hope that you come out and join us there. We're going to be at 4160 Monument Road. Of course, that recycling program, and I hear what you're saying, Winifred, and I understand your frustration. That is being discontinued. And so you can certainly call your council person, see if they can put in some kind of legislation maybe the next term to see if that is something that can be continued again. But again, the budget has already been approved. And so that program, unfortunately, is being discontinued. And so we are going to go to break. And on the other side of this break, we are going to continue the show right here on WURD Radio. I'm Solomon Jones. We'll be right back.
Word family.
Here's a deal from Dietz & Watson that you don't want to miss.
Stop in to any Brown ShopRite this week to take advantage of Dietz & Watson Black Forest ham, yours for just $5.99 per pound. For the best sandwiches or favorite snack time, pick up delicious Dietz & Watson Black Forest ham.
Running today through Sunday. Stop into any Brown ShopRite location and pick up tasty Black Forest ham for the whole family. 1 week only. Get yours today. Dietz & Watson. It's a family thing.
Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. WURD.
Come party with the Word family. This Friday, June 28th from 1 p.m. till 5 p.m. for our annual Food and Wellness Festival. Join us at the Fresh Grocer of Monument Road, 4160 Monument Road, for an entire afternoon of family fun, food, and great health information, featuring a live broadcast and all of your favorite Word hosts. The day will include Zumba, chair yoga, led by Daybreak host Halana, health screenings, a healing drum circle, a kid zone featuring face painting, stilt walkers, and a bouncy house. And of course, our annual Best Barbecue Contest with special guest teams, including Solomon Jones III and Brother Shamari. And you can qualify to win a barbecue feast for 10 people. The fun continues at 5 p.m. with a special Black Music Month happy hour mixer until 7 p.m. hosted by Envy McKee of The Envy McKee Show. This will also be the final day to start or renew your Forward membership at the special early bird rate of just $75. So get there early and get your swag on site. It's all happening this Friday, June 28th at the Fresh Grocer of Monument Road, 4160 Monument Road. Festival from 1 p.m. till 5 p.m. with the Word Black Music Month happy hour mixer from 5 till 7 p.m. Bring the whole family. In partnership with Brown Superstores, presented by Moravia Home Health, AARP, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Dedicated Home Health, HERS, Dietz & Watson, Amorosos, and Canada Dry, and sponsored by Penn Medicine Community Health Outreach, Philadelphia Energy Authority, A Place Like Home, Philadelphia Technical Training, Chiropractic Dynamics, Mary Kay Plus Gift Baskets, My Independence at Home, and Champion Dentistry.
Now, a traffic update on Word Radio.
Good morning. This report sponsored by Unbounded.org. Jammed up southbound 95, Betsy Ross down through Girard. Schuylkill westbound City out to Belmont. You're jammed. Again, delays around the Blue Route through Gulf Mills. Kelly Drive shut down both ways. Fountain Green to Strawberry Mansion because of the Independence Day Regatta. That'll be shut through Sunday evening. 55 north, jammed Deptford in the 42 into Philadelphia. Bridge is not too bad yet. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org. For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. I'm Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Back by popular demand.
It's Wake Up with Word, hosted by Solomon Jones. Right now on Word Radio.
96.1 FM.
And 900 AM WURD.
Good morning. This is Solomon Jones on 900 AM, 96.1 FM, WURD, and I want to welcome you back to Wake Up with Word. We are, of course, gearing up, Kuesa, for this afternoon. We are going to be at the Fresh Grocer at 4160 Monument Road for an afternoon of family fun, food, and great health information. There's going to be a healing drum circle. My wife said I got to get in the middle of the circle because I need my healing. But it's going to be hot out there, so we want y'all to make sure that you're hydrated, make sure you have your water, but make sure you come out because it's going to be hot in more ways than one. One of the things that's going to be happening is people are going to be able to sign up today to renew their forward membership, to be a part of what we are doing here today. Kuesa, are you ready for the people who are going to come in droves to renew their membership today?
So last year we had, I think, about 87 people who came through, and I probably helped almost every single person who came up. So I'm excited. I'm also exhausted already, but I'm excited. So I know that it's going to be great. I can't wait to see everybody just come out and renewing their memberships. I will be there. I'll give you hugs. You know, it just welcome you back to the family.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And we're looking forward to it. So if the number was 87 last year, we need to outdo that number this year. And so we need you out there ready to renew your forward membership, because I'm going to tell you what, we can't do this without you. We can't do it the way that we do it without you. Because there might be a time when we have to take a stand on some issues and some folks might not like it, might say, you know what, we ain't messing with y'all no more. We ain't advertising. We ain't doing any of that because we don't like this stand you took on behalf of black people. And that's when black people and all of us who believe in justice have to then stand up for ourselves. And part of standing up for ourselves is these memberships, because the memberships give us the leeway to be able to take stands that maybe other folk might not like. Those memberships enable us to keep it going even when other folk decide we're going to pull your support. See, this is what happens, man. And it's deep, because when I look back on what happened with Jim Crow, on what happened when black people finally had the ability to determine for themselves what their future would be, this is what would happen. Black folk would stand up, right, and say, no, we are not going to take this type of discrimination anymore. Maybe they stop shopping at a certain store, or maybe they stop patronizing a certain business, right? And then what would happen is the people in that white community would band together and say, okay, well, if you don't stop protesting this, we're going to take your money. We're going to take your job. If you don't buy your ice from this particular place, then we are going to take away your ability to make money at all. We're going to blackball you so that you can't get hired. We're going to take your money. And so they use economics as a way to control what black people could say, what black people could do, whether you could stand up, whether you had to sit down. They used it to control us. And that's why these memberships are important. We're not doing this just to be like, oh, you be a member and you get a T-shirt and you be part of the in crowd. No, this is an economic strategy for our community and for this business, right? Because this is a business to survive and be able to thrive no matter what kind of stand we have to take. Guess what? For you. We taking stands for you. And so we need you to also take a stand for us and get these memberships because it is what allows us to be economically independent and then be independent in the stances that we take for our community. It is about so much more than us just, saying you're going to get a cool T-shirt and be part of the forward movement. No, this is about an economic strategy for our community. And so we want you to come out, man. Have fun. Eat a hot dog, get a hot sausage, put the kids in the moon bounce, do all of that, right? Get in the healing drum circle, get your healing on, do all of that. But we need you to come out and get these memberships, man, because it is what allows us to do what we do. I want to hear from you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. Let's talk to Wes from Mount Airy on line 1. What's up, Wes?
Hey, good morning, Solomon.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I have to say I'm not really big on Kamala Harris, but this election I'm just pretty much just sitting back and just surveying the land. But one thing I can say is, as much as people may not like Bernie has given a space for a lot of Democrats to talk about stuff that you normally won't talk about. I like everything a lot of people said, and even what Kamala Harris was saying, that was to the left of a moderate Democrat. The one thing I find is very illuminating with this debate and also what's going on now, you get to see the difference between a moderate Democrat and a person to the left of them. You get to see what that person has done in terms of a moderate Democrat, what they have done to put you in dire straits. I was waiting for somebody to expose everything what Biden was talking about in terms of him being bipartisan with Republicans and stuff like that. Because I'm just going to be honest. When it comes to the Democrats of that generation, when you look at a Nancy Pelosi, when you look at Joe Biden, they always want to sit there and talk about bipartisanship, but a lot of times bipartisanship with Democrats pretty much mean you're acquiescing.
Yeah.
The Republicans.
Yeah.
Like yesterday.
That's true. That's true.
Like yesterday, they sat there and passed a bill on the immigrants and didn't even look at it. They didn't even look at what the senator said. They just said, we're just going to pass it through. Mm-hmm. Every judge that Trump had put through, Chuck Schumer did not fight. He said, okay, let's going to put it through. That's why I'm sitting there saying I appreciated that both nights of those debates because the public got to see what happens when a news organization sit there and ask the same question. Well, how are you going to pay for universal health care? How are you going to pay for universal schooling? But you never hear a politician sit there until lately say, why don't y'all ask those same things with Republicans in terms of tax breaks for the rich, tax breaks for companies? Because what people don't talk about, that's a distribution of wealth from the poor to the rich.
Now, I get what you're saying, Wes, but let me ask you this question. If Chuck Schumer does not have the numbers in the Senate, he knows it, the Republican knows it, we all know it. If he doesn't have the numbers, how is he going to stop a judge from being confirmed?
But you know what?
I'm saying, how can he stop it if he don't have the numbers?
I know.
Okay, all right.
But
okay.
Optics matter.
Yeah.
If you're not going to sit there and fight against it, you're pretty much depressing your own constituents. Because your own constituents sitting there saying, well, even though you're in a losing situation, if you're not going to fight, how am I going to sit there and vote for you?
I mean, you can fight. You can fight, and I agree with you. The optics matter because that's all that would be is optics because they don't have the numbers. They do not have the numbers, and so they can't win that fight because the Republicans have the numbers. They know it, and so anybody that they want to put through at this point, they can. We got to win at the ballot box, man, and then we got to make demands on folk. I think one of the things that hopefully comes out of what happened in 2016, Wes, is that black folks and other people who believe in justice, they got to vote. They got to vote, man, and not wait until after the fact and complain about what happened because we did not vote.
Agree.
That's what we got to do. So I hear you, man.
Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, Wes. We appreciate you. And Wes made some good points. I mean, bottom line, you do got to show your people that you rumbling, man. Somebody got to come out with some knots on their head or something. You might lose the fight, you know what I mean? But they got to at least know that they were in a fight. And so Wes is right on that point. The problem is that right now in the Senate, Democrats can't win because they don't have the numbers. And they don't. Guess why they don't have the numbers? Because people don't vote. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a complicated thing in one hand, but it's a simple thing in another. Get in there and rumble, man. I don't care if you outnumbered 100-1. He's absolutely right about that. So I want to hear from you. 215-634-8065 is the number. Mike from Philly is on line 3. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, brother Talman. It's Brother Michael. I'm actually in Columbus. But I want to say two things to your last point about voting. I've been wanting to say this to you specifically. The leadership that you demonstrated under this police situation and galvanizing all those people, in my mind, that's the model of how folks can get together and vote in Philadelphia. Get together just like that. Just expand what you have done, you and all the folks from those different organizations.
Yeah.
And I really think that you're onto something there far beyond this particular issue. So, unfortunately, I don't see myself being back there for a while. I wish all of you folks well and just continuing to span that kind of energy, leadership, and commitment to each other to make things better in my city of Philadelphia. I really think you're on to something there. And
thank you, brother.
I just want to say, head and shoulders, I think Kamala demonstrated that she was the most brilliant person both nights coming out, of that debate. She's going to need a lot of support and encouragement around some other things politically, but I think that, she really made me proud as a black woman demonstrating intelligence and just really not being afraid. And hopefully, again, she'll get some support. And she has time to change. For all the criticism she has around a lot of different things, she's got time to grow and change. So I'm going to be looking at that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. You too. And we appreciate that. And we appreciate your call this morning on WURD Radio. We want to hear from you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That is the number you can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD Radio. So, Kawesa, you're watching the debate last night or hearing about some of the things that were said last night. What do you think? I mean, Kamala Harris kind of really, it seemed like a coming out party for her. We hadn't known a lot about her. We had known a lot of the negatives about her having been a prosecutor. But what did you think based on what happened last night?
I thought that she looked very strong. She came out, ready to fight, ready to lay hands. And I appreciated that. I was actually very appreciative of really how she came at Biden in regards to race. I did like that. It's actually the first time for me anyway that it has resonated that she views herself as, a woman of color, because in the past we haven't really seen her kind of latch on to that. And so I was appreciative that, she kind of went at him like that. I'm still very skeptical, though, about some of her policies because, as we know, she did some things when she was over there in California, and it was not for the benefit of black folks. And so I guess I'll have to keep seeing, but, like I said before, I would, like to see once we get down to like the 3 or 5 best candidates, then I want to see really what they have to bring to the table. And I was disappointed that, Biden was not as strong as I thought that he might be.
He looked old.
He did.
He looked old. He looked old. And he is. I mean, what is he, like 76?
I think so.
So he's an older gentleman, And, you know, when you look at the leadership of the Democratic Party, there does have to be an influx of young people. And I think Biden is there and he is running, I think, because he has to. Because there aren't a lot of people in the Democratic Party who can beat Donald Trump. I got to be honest. And, you know, you could talk about him and say all these things he did back in the day, and he did. But who else can beat Donald Trump right now? I just need, hook me up. You know, let me know. Because from what I am seeing at this point, I'm not seeing anybody else in the field who can beat Donald Trump. And I'm just being as honest as I possibly can right now. I feel like Joe Biden is running because he has to. He has to. Because look at these other people. Who is Andrew Yang, the boy without a tie? Who is he? Right? Who is Eric Swalwell? I mean, I've seen him on CNN. I've seen him on MSNBC. I don't know who you are other than that. Who are these people? Who are all of these? And it's a shame because there are some people on the stage, I still don't know their names. You was on a debate for a whole hour. I still don't know who you are. Who's the former governor of Colorado, John Hickenlooper? Who are these people? And so I believe, and I'm saying this, man, from the bottom of my heart, Joe Biden is running because he has to, because I don't see anybody else in the Democratic field at this point who can beat Donald Trump. Maybe Kamala Harris rises to that point. I don't know. But I want to know what you think. Give me a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. Olanian from Nicetown is on line one. Good morning.
Greetings.
Greetings, brother.
I hate to say it, but I did not see the debate yesterday. I heard a lot about it. Like I was when the last election occurred, I like Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
Politics. It's the kind of radicalism that I grew up on.
Okay.
And the only problem with that is that I don't believe that most of America will vote for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I didn't vote for him. Again, I like his politics. I'd rather Joe Biden. I believe he has a lot of experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I didn't see the debate. I heard that he looked old. But even as an old person with the right party, Democrats, I believe he can win.
Yeah.
Trump out of there.
I hear you, Olanian, and I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD Radio. We're going to go back to the phone lines. Let's go to line 3. Good morning. You're on WURD. Mary, how you doing?
Good morning, sweetie. How are you this morning?
I'm good. The one thing I need to say is this before we go on. Listen, y'all, we got to hurry up and kind of get to our points, even when y'all on the line with Kawesa, because we only got a couple minutes, and so we need to, get it in. So go ahead, Mary.
And I thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to call and say I agree with you 155%. He's the only one.
Yeah.
I mean, when I look, first of all, being 20 of them, and I'm like, where?
I know.
What hole you fall out of?
Lord have mercy.
And see, I always say this, and any word member that knows me, I'm straight with no chaser. But my point is, he's the only one that can beat that man.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has, first of all, the stamina. Well, not stamina. I'm just saying strength, has the ability, the knowledge to play him, just like he plays. And I'm not saying playing, just the fact that I don't see none of them beating him.
Yeah.
But Joe Biden.
I don't either.
So
and
I just wanted to agree with you this morning and have a blessed and safe weekend.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
We appreciate you,
right,
and
bye-bye.
thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD Radio. We're going to go to break, and on the other side, we're going to talk with a nurse from Hahnemann Hospital. 2,500 jobs on the line with that hospital talking about closing, even as another major employer in Philadelphia talks about closing as well with another 1,000 jobs. We are the poorest big city in America. I don't know about you, but I don't think we can afford to lose all those jobs. We're going to talk to her on the other side of this break. I'm Solomon Jones. We'll be right back.
Don't miss the Electric Magazine Show.
Hosted by Cody Anderson and Vicky Leach. Saturday mornings from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Exclusively on Word Radio.
96.1 FM.
And 900 AM WURD.
It's time to start cracking it, cooking it, toasting it, Canadian baconing it, stacking it. In other words, putting a freshly cracked grade A egg into every Egg McMuffin so you can start Independence hauling it, waterfronting it, and love parking it. We get cracking so you can too. For a limited time, get our famous Egg McMuffin or Sausage McMuffin with egg for just $2 each. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Offer valid until September 1st.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation?
Follow us on social media.
Using the hashtag onWURD.
Be heard.
Stay connected to Word Radio.
Independent Black Media.
Walter E. Sabbath Jr. Funeral Service is introducing Cremations Are Us by Sabbath. That's S-A-B-B-A-T-H. Cremations Are Us by Sabbath is the result of their 26 years of experience with individuals and families who choose cremation. Sabbath knows that families who choose cremation have the same needs as those who choose burial. Sabbath's new component, Cremations Are Us by Sabbath, emphasizes the wide selection of services they've always offered. Visit their website, sabbathcare.com, for details or call 215-924-4101.
Hi, Mark Bott, the founder of Operation KidSafe. One of our year-round child safety center's grand openings is Friday, June 28th at 10 a.m. Families get a free and private Amber Alert Ready safety form, and they'll be available year-round starting June 28th. Brought to you exclusively by Jillian O'Brien Nationwide Insurance, 15 East Winona Avenue in Norwood. Free Amber Alert Ready forms starting June 28th. Bring the kids by anytime during normal business hours.
Now, a traffic update
on Word Radio.
Good morning. This report sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Schuylkill Expressway eastbound side. Slow Bluebird to Gladwood, again Montgomery to Spring Garden. Westbound jamming from the Boulevard out to Belmont. Southbound 95 bridge down through Girard heavy. Kelly Drive closed both ways. Fountain Green to Strawberry Mansion. Independence Day Regatta has that closed through Sunday evening. 55 north jam Deptford in the 42. 42 northbound 55 to 295. Just a bit slow there this morning.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving supports victims of drunk driving, drug driving, and underage drinking at no charge. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. That's MADD.org.
For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. I'm Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Back by popular demand.
It's Wake Up with Word, hosted by Solomon Jones. Right now on Word Radio.
96.1 FM.
And 900 AM WURD.
Good morning. This is Solomon Jones on 900 AM and 96.1 FM WURD. And our first guest is Talia Gottesman. She is an RN, a registered nurse at Holloman Hospital, which is in imminent danger of closing. And it is, at this point, a crisis. Talia, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Just sort of hopefully waiting to hear what's going to happen. Hopefully waiting to hear if some of our actions can, slow this process down. The letter from the Department of Health and from Governor Wolf yesterday was a great start. So, we're taking it one step at a time.
So we saw that the employees and the nurses in particular rallied yesterday, really trying to draw attention to this issue. There's 2,500 jobs at risk with Hahnemann University Hospital closing, but it's about more than just those jobs, isn't it? What else is at risk if Hahnemann closes?
I mean, the health and safety of the people that we serve on a regular basis. I would say, we serve obviously anybody who walks in, or is brought into the emergency department, but there's also a regular population of people we see, on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis. And those people have been, seeing those physicians coming to our hospital for their entire lives. Many of those people are chronically ill, have lifelong conditions, and to just ask them to pick up and find a whole new team of doctors, the doctors who know each other, the doctors who know them, could be life-threatening for them, honestly.
And in terms of the location of that hospital, and that hospital being a trauma center, is there a heliport on top of Hahnemann Hospital? Are people brought in by helicopter if it is a very traumatic situation?
Absolutely. Yep. We do have a helipad.
And is that available? How many other hospitals have that in the city of Philadelphia?
I don't know the answer exactly. I assume that all of the level 1 trauma centers have some type of helicopter access. But the bottom line is that helicopter or not, I mean, Hahnemann's placement is so key to, the tons of events that happen on the Parkway every year with thousands and thousands of people. Hahnemann has been, when the Democratic National Convention was here, Hahnemann was, a prime location because they were able to still close off major roadways and highways but still have access to an emergency room and to all of the services like medical and surgical services that they could possibly need. I mean, it's a prime location and a crucial location for all these decades that the city has been planning major events, with police and fire and EMS, to be using that access to Hahnemann Hospital. I mean, it's used every single day, and when there's road closures and everything like that, it's used even more because of its prime location.
So in terms of what the owners are saying, though, they're saying they're losing like $3 million a month. How do you reconcile that? How do you keep it open when it's bleeding that kind of money?
Well, obviously, we know that Hahnemann has had some financial issues for years, right, going back to the previous owners as well. The issue is that we'd like to see the details. He's claiming all this money lost, and yet we have no proof of exactly where it's gone and exactly what, has been done to try to stop that hemorrhage. How much has he paid himself and his corporation every month since he's owned this hospital? We don't know. So that is part of the problem. Obviously, and a city hospital that serves primarily patients who are on Medicare and Medicaid is going to have financial struggles, and that's fine. There's a lot that we're willing to do and a lot that many departments are willing to do to try to overcome that, but we also need to see the whole big picture, and you can't fix a problem like hemorrhaging money if you can't see the whole big picture of financials.
And so what do you hope will happen? Say you do see these financials and you see where it's bleeding money. What do you hope will happen?
We're hoping that a combination of things, starting with the state coming in, bringing us emergency aid, but also bringing us people who will oversee the day-to-day goings-on at Hahnemann and who can help us turn it around quickly. So far we've had people who the owner, has said are coming in to help, but again, that's his agenda. Nobody really knows. So we really need third-party assistants to come in who have the interest of keeping the hospital open, not of paying themselves necessarily. And hopefully if that can happen, we can make a slow, it's not going to be, some beautiful miracle in 1 minute, but to have, a slow turnaround and to have some hope and to have a buyer who's interested in really bringing Hahnemann back to its glory days. There's so much history with Drexel medicine and, when MCP closed and coming in, there's just so many, aspects to Hahnemann that go back so many years, and we're hoping that even a slow, very slow turnaround could, save the hospital and save the crucial core that we're talking about in terms of what Hahnemann Hospital is.
Now, certainly, and we're talking with Talia Gottesman. She is a registered nurse at Hahnemann Hospital, and certainly you have an interest in keeping that hospital open, and so do all the employees there. Why should the wider community care about what is happening with Hahnemann Hospital and the risk of that hospital closing?
I mean, I think that if anybody who makes regular doctor's office, dialysis, lab, visits. If anybody who does that looks at their own community hospital where they go, whether it be Hahnemann or not, and they understand how crucial it is to them to have a continuity of care, to see the same people, to get regular care and checkups by people who know them, they would understand how crucial it is for the thousands and thousands of patients that we serve regularly, right? I mean, this is not like people just passing through. This is, like I said, hundreds of people who have lifelong illnesses who come to Hahnemann on a regular basis for everything from dialysis to blood work to blood transfusions to cancer care. So there's that. And then, people who work at other hospitals and other emergency rooms should really be aware of how much stress this could put on other hospitals, and how, the sick patients that we see every day could be even sicker by the time they decide, well, you know what, I guess I have to go to the ER at Temple or Jefferson. There's nothing against those institutions, but if that's not where people are comfortable, that's not going to be where they want to go. People will hold out. People will, see what they can do on their own, call their doctors, but who knows, where all of our doctors will be.
Well, I do know that for me, my father-in-law, when he had cancer, went to Hahnemann. My grandmother, when she had a stroke, went to Hahnemann. My cousin, when he had a stroke, went to Hahnemann. And so it is an important institution, and it's one that I think many people in the community are connected to. And so we hope that things will work out, and that Hahnemann will be able to survive this latest hit. And so I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning. If people want to get involved, how can they help?
Well, obviously we'll have more information forthcoming based on what this cease and desist order yesterday can sort of bring forth. And I would say just staying aware of what's going on, watching the news, etc. And then, each step will have sort of some more information. Yesterday was great, and whoever was there, I thank them for coming. And if we have to do that again, we'll do that again. And we hope that people show up and really just, if you have a relationship with your local legislator in Philadelphia, talk to them and talk about how important it is. But luckily, we do already have a decent amount of support from local and state governments. So just being aware of what's going on.
All right, that is Talia Gottesman. She's an RN at Hahnemann Hospital, which is in imminent danger of closing. She joined us this morning to talk about it on WURD. I want to thank you so much, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right, you too. We got a couple minutes, so if you want to call in, it's 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That is the number that you can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD Radio, and let us know where you are on any of these things we are talking about on this morning's show. So, We are talking about, one of the things we talked about, of course, was the Democratic debate that took place last night. It was part two. The person that stood out, in my view, was Kamala Harris, who really confronted Joe Biden about his record. And that's the issue. When you have a long record, there's a lot of stuff to pick apart. But in particular, he was opposed to busing, which of course is what allowed black kids to actually go into other schools and integrate those schools. And he said he was against the federal government doing it. He thought it should have been a local issue. Well, that's a line that segregationists and racists have used for a long time. She said she didn't believe he was a racist, but she was personally affected and offended by the stance that he took on busing earlier in his career. So I want to know what you think. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. Let's go to Arthur from the Northeast on line 1. Go ahead, Arthur.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to say I'm just tired of it's been run by men, mostly white men. It's time to let the women take over. I'm for Warren and or Kamala Harris.
Okay.
And Joe Biden, it's time to step aside and let the young people
Yeah. Okay. Now, do you think that Kamala Harris or Elizabeth Warren can beat Donald Trump?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I think the swell of the voters will come out because they're sick of Trump. I think on both sides they're going to come out, but I think the Democrats are going to win out this time.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD Radio, and we appreciate you. We want to hear from you, so you can certainly give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. Kendrick Talbot on Facebook says, I don't want 4 more years of Trump either, but this is the wrong approach. I believe it's more important that our issues are put up front. Beating Donald Trump is a short-term strategy. We need to plan long-term regardless of who is president. I've said this before. Democrats need us much more than we need them. We have to act that way. That is a good comment. We're going to go to break, and on the other side, we're going to talk with Taylor Allen right here on WURD. I'm Solomon Jones. We'll be right back.
Come party with the Word family. This Friday, June 28th from 1 p.m. till 5 p.m. for our annual Food and Wellness Festival. Join us at the Fresh Grocer of Monument Road, 4160 Monument Road, for an entire afternoon of family fun, food, and great health information, featuring a live broadcast and all of your favorite Word hosts. The day will include Zumba, chair yoga, led by Daybreak host Halana, health screenings, a healing drum circle, a kid zone featuring face painting, stilt walkers, and a bouncy house. And of course, our annual Best Barbecue Contest with special guest teams, including Solomon Jones III and Brother Shamari. And you can qualify to win a barbecue feast for 10 people. The fun continues at 5 p.m. with a special Black Music Month happy hour mixer until 7 p.m. hosted by Envy McKee of The Envy McKee Show. This will also be the final day to start or renew your Forward membership at the special early bird rate of just $75. So get there early and get your swag on site. It's all happening this Friday, June 28th at the Fresh Grocer of Monument Road, 4160 Monument Road. Festival from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. with the Word Black Music Month happy hour mixer from 5 till 7 p.m. Bring the whole family. In partnership with Brown Superstores, presented by Moravia Home Health, AARP, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Dedicated Home Health, Hers, Dietz & Watson, Amorosos, and Canada Dry, and sponsored by Penn Medicine Community Health Outreach, Philadelphia Energy Authority, A Place Like Home, Philadelphia Technical Training, Chiropractic Dynamics, Mary Kay Plus Gift Baskets, My Independence at Home, and Champion Dentistry. The Shamari Show. Fridays 1 p.m. till 4 p.m. on Word Radio.
And streaming live on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Hello, I'm Keena Sears Brown, Director at Drexel University's Goodwin College of Professional Studies, where we know that ambition can't wait and learning never stops. In today's ever-changing job market, you will need to gain new skills to stay competitive. That's why we offer in-demand, industry-recognized courses, certifications, workshops, and networking opportunities to keep you connected. Skilled, confident you. Develop your career learning path at drexel.edu/Goodwin/CPE.
Searching for a home care agency that provides care both needed and deserved? Call My Independence at Home at 215-921-2277 for a free in-home consultation. We are committed to providing compassionate home care for the elderly and adults with physical disabilities. 215-921-2277.
Drive in with Solomon Jones. Drive home with Charles Ellison. This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Philadelphia, independent Black media.
Word Radio News Update
with Vincent Thompson.
Good morning. Here's the latest from the Word Radio Newsroom, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. The Pennsylvania Health Department has ordered Philadelphia's Hahnemann University Hospital to halt plans to take its first steps toward closing ahead of the busy July 4th holiday. The Health Department told the owners of the hospital that they must first file a detailed plan that ensures the safety of people who depend on the institution for care. The 496-bed hospital announced Wednesday it would close by September the 6th due to unsustainable financial losses. The hospital had said it planned to start diverting trauma cases from its emergency room on Monday, July 1st. The state says it has since been told that even more emergency room patients could possibly be diverted. Hahnemann employees rallied at City Hall yesterday to save the hospital from closing. Employees are also planning a bus trip to the Pennsylvania State Capitol in Harrisburg today, advocating for the future of the hospital. And the Fraternal Order of Police is offering a $10,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest of the person responsible for defacing a mural of an African-American officer killed in the line of duty. Sergeant Robert Wilson III was gunned down 4 years ago inside a video game store in North Philadelphia on March 5th, 2015. A mural that was created in his honor was vandalized sometime yesterday morning on the 2900 block of Ridge Avenue. Police say someone spray painted over the mural of the slain officer. The mural has been cleaned and restored. Anyone with any information has to call police at 215-686-TIPS. That's 215-686-TIPS. Checking sports, the Phillies now have a 4-game winning streak after defeating the New York Mets yesterday, a 4-game sweep of the Mets. New York scored 3 runs in the 9th inning to take a 2-run lead, only to watch Phil's players Maikel Franco hit a game-tying 2-run home run, and Gene Segura belt a walk-off 3-run homer to win the game. The Phils start a 3-game series against the Miami Marlins tonight, and Flyers development camp continues today in Voorhees, New Jersey. The camp ends on Saturday. This newscast is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Play Winner, Winner, Chicken Dinner, the new scratch-off game from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 years old or older. Please play responsibly. Vincent Thompson, Word Radio News.
It's Wake Up with Word, hosted by Solomon Jones.
Good morning.
Right now on Word Radio.
96.1 FM.
And 900 AM WURD.
Good morning. This is Solomon Jones on 900 AM and 96.1 FM WURD. And I want to welcome you back to Wake Up with Word. And we're going to be talking with our next guest, Taylor Allen. And Taylor Allen, of course, is a multimedia journalist, and she has multiple bylines for WHYY News and the PLS Reporter. She's an NPR Next Generation Radio alum, a graduate of Temple University's Klein College of Media and Communications, and now a reporter for Colorado Public Radio. Taylor, good morning.
Good morning, Solomon. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm ready to work.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what's up. You sound great this morning, which is a good thing. Before we talk about anything else, did you watch the debate last night?
I did. I watched pieces. I went to bed just because the time difference.
I understand.
But yes, I did watch it. Listen, I'm not really impressed.
Okay. Okay. All right. Did anybody stand out for you at all?
I mean, did I appreciate that Kamala, very directly spoke to Joe Biden about his comments, especially as someone who, lived through, segregation and stuff like that? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
However, that doesn't by any means, I still think that's show. It's still entertainment. You know what I mean? So I'm okay, I'm glad you did it, sure, but it's still entertainment value, and that's why I'm all right, it's not policy by any means.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think the thing for me in watching both of these debates was that I don't know these people. I've never seen you before in my life. You want to be president. I've never seen any of these people before in my life, Taylor. I couldn't pick them out of a lineup. Who are you? And you want to be president? Come on, man. Stop. So that's where I'm at.
Fault.
Yeah.
Get new PR people.
Get somebody. I could help you. I know how to do PR. I could have helped you. I have no idea who these people are. And that's the scary part for me, because the bottom line for the Democratic Party should be, okay, which of our candidates can actually win? And if nobody knows you, it's going to be hard for you to win.
I mean, Solomon, if you want to, get another job, the man of 6, 7 jobs.
I already got enough.
Get your bread. I'm totally fine with that.
Okay, let's talk about this because there's another very serious issue. Speaking of policy, immigration policy, of course, has been a huge issue under the Trump administration. And so there are a lot of reporters on the border looking at what's happening there. One of them was a photographer who snapped a picture of a dead father and daughter who died trying to get to America in the midst of this migrant crisis, and it's caused a big debate in the journalistic circles here in America. Talk about what you saw in that picture and what happened with it.
I saw that picture because, again, I want people to understand, like, this wasn't like, oh, someone just, some amateur took a picture and put it on social media and that's how we found it. Like, no, that's not what happened. A journalist, a trained journalist took that picture, and then AP, the most respected, arguably the most respected journalism outlet, allowed thousands of outlets to reuse that picture for the purpose of publication. So, like, I want to put it out there. This was no, like, amateur, okay? And my stomach immediately sank. And I was just like, how is this ethical? In what world is this ethical? And, you know, I understand to a degree that, you know, you're trying to make a point of, like, listen, how horrible is this? But also, you're a trained journalist. You're not just, like, a random person. So you know what these images can do to people. Like, this is the same debate we had about, you know, Black people getting shot by police officers and, like, how those images affect people. And the fact that trained journalists don't even think about that and are just like, oh, we're going to do this. Like, it's feels cheap. It feels sensationalized, and I don't like it at all. And I don't think, especially when you're going to sensationalize someone's death, like, I don't like that personally. And let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. When's the last time you saw white people who died, whose deaths or gruesome deaths were plastered all over the place? Like, if anything, you see, like, a nice family picture. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like, let's keep it 100.
That's right.
And, like, I really think you just sensationalize people of color's death. And I don't even necessarily think it's to be, like, make you feel sad. I think it's political, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I think that that's my problem with it because pictures of Black people and other people of color who are in dire straits or who have died or who are about to die, these pictures are very often published, right, in journalistic outlets, and you don't see the same thing happening with white people who are in those same situations. You don't see it, and I believe that is an illustration of the racism in the field that we have chosen, that they will portray people of color in one way, and they will not portray white people in that same way. Here's an example. In 1993, there was a picture of a starving child with a vulture waiting for that child to die. And the photographer, Kevin Carter, took that picture, and the picture won a Pulitzer Prize of this little African child dying. I mean, you could see her ribs, and this vulture knows this child's about to die. The vulture's sitting there waiting. He takes a picture of it and wins the Pulitzer Prize. I mean, it's crazy. So this picture, Taylor, this reminded me of that.
I mean, absolutely. And I just think it really just speaks to the lack of humanity. Like, if your first thought is, oh, I'm going to take this picture because it's going to be a great story, like, that, you basically just said, I don't see this person as a person.
Right.
You don't. And to make matters even worse about this particular picture, this man's wife is still walking around. Like, like, it's not like the whole family died. Like, not saying that makes it any better, but, like, his wife literally watched her newborn child, 22 months, I still consider that a newborn, basically, and her husband die in front of her, and now this woman is now forced to see that photo plastered around the world. Like, there's, like, no level of humanity at any level of this, and I'm just like, it breaks my heart, because you're just telling me that you don't see people as people. And even worse, and I'm relating this back to, like, the Oscars and whatnot, you just love the trauma of people of color. You just do. Because I'll take it back to your entertainment. Like, yeah, I'm going to take it that far. You know, all the movies that Black people happen to be in as of late that win awards, they're going through immense trauma. Like I'm sorry, white people love people of color's trauma, and you're just showing that over and over again. You're like, yeah, this is good. I'm like, don't you think that's a problem? That you are literally like lamenting and like fiending for it to watch trauma? Like, you don't think that's an issue?
Yeah.
At all?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it
I
is.
can't take it.
It's a huge issue, and you know, one of the things that I have experienced here in the city of Philadelphia as a journalist, and as you know now, you can't just be a writer. You got to be a photographer. You got to be a videographer. You got to have multimedia skills, and you need to be able to do that and show that in your work as a journalist. And I've had the experience of taking pictures in Kensington where, as you know, it is like heroin central, where you have people who are mostly white shooting heroin on the street and doing so openly. And I've taken some pictures of that and had folks say, we're not going to publish those pictures. And so on the one hand, in our field, and I've been in this field a long time, Taylor, right? In our field, you see pictures of black folk and brown folk either dead or dying, published on a national level, but you never see pictures of white folks in those kinds of situations and in dire straits like that. And it's a conscious decision by our media to do that. It's a conscious decision.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And I'm getting tired of the whole, like, well, you know, let's give, you know, white people slack because they don't, it's subconscious. I don't care. Read a book. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting tired of giving people slack for not recognizing my humanity.
Agreed. And so, do you see anything changing given that there has been this debate around this picture being used?
I think what's going to happen, like, just because based on other, like, you know, things have happened, like the Starbucks incident and what other racist incidents, they're probably going to have a training that lasts, like, I don't know, a few days, maybe a week or so. And then this will go away, you know, as a PR move. And then something going to the effect is going to be something similar, I would say, in like 2 years.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think you're right, Taylor. And I think that the answer is you. I think that the answer is that we have to have more young people of color coming into this field and changing the way that this thing is done. I think that's the only way it's going to change. It has to be people coming in, getting in position to make these decisions, and then making better decisions than what we've seen to this point.
Hire black talent.
That's
and
right.
Pay them fairly.
There you go.
How about that?
There you go.
That we can work.
There you go.
Work on the rest.
No doubt. That is Taylor Allen. She is a multimedia reporter. She has multiple bylines for WHYY News and the PLS Reporter. She is an NPR Next Generation radio alum, a graduate of Temple University's Klein College of Media Communication, and now a reporter for Colorado Public Radio. Taylor, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning on WURD.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. So we want to hear from you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That is the number you can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD Radio. I'm going to go to the phone lines, and we're going to talk with Kay from University City on line 1. Good morning, Kay.
Good morning, Solomon. I need 4 things I want to bring up to you guys.
Okay.
I listened to your conversation with Taylor. I was born in 1943. If it hadn't been for journalists who went into the battlefields of Vietnam, the United States of America military and government would not ever lost the support of the people. But because you had papers like the Evening Bulletin and the Daily News back then, every day it was in your face. It showed the brothers money for the helicopters. They showed us the death. Okay. That's what I believe in.
Okay.
Kamala Harris, to me, she needs to stay where she is. She's brilliant, but I didn't like what she did. I'm interested in the Castro brother. Another point is foreign policy going on, cyber security. We have the manpower, men and women, to stop the Russians. And when are we going to start? Excuse me, Congress, when are we going to do something about it? And a lot of things we need to be addressed. That sister got charged down in Alabama.
Yeah.
That can't continue. It's time to get people behind Solomon. If you're a journalist, you get out there and you show what's going on. We would never known about South Africa, Soweto, all those places. Having different journalists who gave their lives and would report it. That's why when we went into Iraq, the Bush administration stopped all that stuff. If things had been able, like we're doing in Vietnam, that war had been ended by now. Trump needs his behind whip, and the Democrat Party needs to come together and concentrate on taking his behind. I understand Kamala Harris. I knew about busing. She's bringing up, see, they digging dirt, and the Republicans are laughing. See, she has a record, too, and she needs to watch her back. I like Biden.
Okay.
Biden.
Okay. All right.
We need to have more humanity.
Okay.
You keep on doing what you're doing, and you keep us abreast about what's going on with that sister.
Thank you.
Then they got to move quickly. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate your call this morning on WURD Radio. And it's funny because that's one of the things that we are seeing in terms of people's responses to the debate. For instance, Steffi Lucy Saunders says on Facebook, I'm with you. Whether we like it or not, none of them are strong enough to beat Trump. I hope their division does not cause Trump to win again. And it just reminds me of the last contest, because I felt that Bernie Sanders, once it was clear that he was not going to get the nomination, I felt like he had torn Hillary Clinton down to the point where she was at risk of losing, not because of anything Trump did, but because of some of the stuff he did. And it turned out to be that way. Now, there are a lot of forces working against Hillary Clinton. The Russians were working against Hillary Clinton. I believe that the Trump campaign, with 16 people in contact with the Russians, were working with the Russians in order to beat Hillary Clinton. I think that there were forces inside the Democratic Party that were working against Hillary Clinton. I think misogyny and the desire not to have a woman in charge was working against Hillary Clinton. I think there were a lot of things that were working against her, but I think that division within the Democratic Party was one of the things that sank her, let alone her campaign's decision to run a top-down campaign instead of working with the local people in places like Philadelphia. They had to win Philadelphia, and they had to win it big in order to win Pennsylvania, and they wouldn't even bring lawn signs. I mean, so stuff like that. I mean, sometimes you beat yourself, but I think that that some of our folks are right, that there has to be some kind of unity behind somebody, and they better figure it out soon or they're going to lose again. I'm going to go back to the phone lines, talk to Jocelyn from West Oak Lane. Go ahead, Jocelyn.
Hi there.
Hi.
Welcome back, Solomon.
Thank you.
What do you know about the Homestead program?
The homestead exemption in Philadelphia, you have to live in your home for a period of time. And if you are in a community where the taxes are going up, if you have that homestead exemption, then you can have an exception where your taxes will stay at the point where they were.
Okay. Okay. If the person dies, and can that person leave the house to a beneficiary, or does the city take it?
No, the city can't take your house unless you're behind on your taxes. So they can put it up for a tax lien sale if you're behind on your taxes, if it goes to court and the court decides that they are going to put your house up for sheriff's sale, and then the sheriff's department then carries through that sale.
Okay. Now, what's the credit? What is that about?
What credit?
I went online, and there's something about credit. So.
What credit? Name the credit.
They didn't say. It was like it reminded me of reverse mortgage.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I don't know the answer to that.
Can you check that out?
I don't. If you just tell me credit, I don't know what that means. So you have to come up with a full name for it, and then if you do that, then I can find out. But other than that, you could call the Bureau of Revision of Taxes, and you could find out from them what it is.
Well, I just Googled the homestead thing yesterday, and I of course I don't remember everything I read, and it says something about credit, and credit means, from what I read and what I understood, if the party dies, you can't leave your house to no one.
Yeah, that's not true.
Unless maybe credit means, okay, you'll have to pay the extra money that you didn't pay all the years.
Yeah, if you're behind on your taxes.
No, I'm not talking about being behind.
Well, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about, okay, if your taxes are like $600 or $700 a year, right?
Yeah.
And you join the homestead program, and that'll bring it down to maybe, instead of you paying $70 a month, you'll be paying $50-something a month. So the difference between 50 and 70, you'll have to pay.
I'm sorry, Kay. I really so this what we're gonna have to talk about this off the air, because I really don't know what you're talking about, and I don't want you to confuse anybody else. So hold on, and we'll try to talk about it off the air. In the meantime, Akbar Hassan is coming up on the other side of this break to talk about your money. It is Friday, and we tired of y'all messing up your paycheck. That's why we got Akbar Hassan here to talk about it, to answer another one of those questions about finances. He's on the other side. In the meantime, I need you to know that this hour is brought to you by Power, Philadelphians organized to witness, empower, and rebuild. For more information, visit powerinterfaith.org. I'm Solomon Jones. We'll be right back.
Brothers and sisters, don't miss The Source. Weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Word Radio, WordRadio.com, and the Word Radio app.
This is the Moravia Health Home Care Tip. The bond between a patient and their caregiver is very important. Empathy and attentiveness are crucial to fostering a trusting relationship with your loved one. When selecting a home care aide for your loved one to help with daily tasks such as cooking, cleaning, and companionship, inquire as to why the candidate chose caregiving as a profession. The right caregiver will have a good mix of professionalism and a nurturing, caring nature. Many families do not know, but the law now allows for a family member to be a paid home care worker. With training through Moravia Health, caring for your loved one directly just became easier. Moravia Health is dedicated to delivering quality care to patients in the comfort of their home. For more information about Moravia Health, call 215-717-8650. That's 215-717-8650. Or visit MoraviaHealth.com. Moravia Health, because there's no place like home.
Listen live at WordRadio.com.
Word family, mark your calendars and join me, Brother Shamari, for Friday, June 28th for the WURD Wellness and Food Festival, taking place at Fresh Grocer of Monument Road. That's 4160 Monument Road. While you're there, start or renew your 4Word membership on site and get your exclusive membership swag bag, including your very own WURD baseball cap. I definitely want one of those, right in your very own hands. Don't wait until the festival. You can do that now. Start or renew your 4Word membership at any time between now and June 28th to take advantage of our $75 early bird special. Join the 4Word movement today so you can protect and preserve independent black media and get your health on. We'll see you on June 28th.
Tune in this and every Sunday at 1 p.m. for the Legal Matters Show with attorney Gary Bailey and Philly's own Joe Dock as they discuss the cases and topics in every area of the law, and have your chance to ask the attorney and have your question answered every Sunday at 1 p.m. on Word Radio.
Now, a traffic update on Word Radio.
Good morning. This report sponsored by the podcast Monster, the Zodiac Killer. Southbound 95, your jam bridge down through Girard. Northbound side, not a bad ride. Westbound Vine Expressway delays. Parkway through the Schuylkill Expressway. Schuylkill westbound, University through South, your jammed against City out to Belmont. Eastbound delays. Blue Route through the Curve again, Montgomery to Spring Garden. Kelly Drive closed both ways. Fountain Green to Strawberry Mansion. Independence Day Regatta. The reason for that closure through Sunday evening. 55 North jamming Deptford into 42.
This is the Zodiac speaking. If you do not print this cipher, I will cruise around all weekend killing lone people in the night.
From the creators of Atlanta Monster, comes Season 2. This is Monster, the Zodiac Killer. Listen and follow on the iHeartRadio app.
For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. I'm Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
You're waking up
with Word.
Hosted by Solomon Jones.
Good morning.
Right now on Word Radio.
96.1 FM.
And 900 AM WURD.
Don't do it. There's other ways to celebrate your anniversary other than going in debt. The fact that it's credit card debt tells me it's not any debt that was, needed. Past performance is not indicative of future results. So with that qualifier, don't walk, run.
And now, Akbar Hassan, only on Wake Up with Word.
Good morning. This is Solomon Jones on 900 AM and 96.1 FM WURD. And we are back with my man, Akbar Hassan. It is, of course, Friday, and it is payday, and we don't want you to mess up your money. And so we have Akbar Hassan. He's a personal financial advisor, counseling individuals and small businesses. He has 3 decades of corporate finance experience in 2 of the world's largest law firms. He unwraps the mystery of money, offering practical, insightful, and easy to understand guidance. Akbar, good morning.
It's about to go down.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's all I got to say.
All right. So today is the day. Of course, we are going to be at the Word Wellness and Food Festival. Akbar, you are our secret weapon on the Solomon Jones team as we prepare to bring it home with this barbecue contest.
You know, I'm honored to be on the Solomon Jones, the third team. You know, he's straight gangster. If anybody ever saw the Candy Ring, you got to check out the Candy Ring.
That's right.
All right. I think it's on your website still.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Straight gangster.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know,
that's true.
We got the man leading the pack.
That's right. From the time he was 3 years old, and so
3. You know, I just hope we don't get handicapped. You know,
right?
So we're using gas grills.
That's
so
right.
I hope the gas bill's paid.
Yeah,
with the grill. If not, someone sign up for LIHEAP.
That's right.
Whatever. You know, I don't want a 15-minute delay.
How about that?
I want it straight and even.
That's right.
Give me a fair shot.
That's right.
As our president would say.
That's right. That's right. And so we are looking forward to this afternoon up at the Fresh Grocer at 4160 Monument Road as we put together just a victorious team. We have worked together to come up with a secret ingredient that we are going to be adding. We consulted experts in the barbecue field, and so we are looking forward to this afternoon and to just propelling ourselves to victory.
Yeah. We got recommendations from people all across the world last night.
That's right.
We had the phone lines ringing. Hold on. This one we was testing and everything. So it's it's going to be a runaway.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And not to take anything from anyone else.
That's right.
All the other teams, they're great. They're great chefs. They're great cooks in their own right. But today's not your day.
That's right. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. Just not today. And so we got something else we got to talk about because we got another one of those financial questions from one of our listeners, Akbar. What's the question today?
So the question is, in your view, why are some young adults reckless spenders and financially illiterate? This is actually a combination of a question that was posed by Jacob last week, a caller Jacob, and a few other people kind of like lynched onto that during the week, and so I thought it would be a good question.
Okay.
Right now, people, like young kids, they are affected by the "I need to have it and spend it now" itis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And much like the itis, it will put your money to sleep. So we got to figure out how to solve this problem, but we have to look at how did this happen. All right, a lot of things happen because of influence, because of peer pressure.
Yeah.
All right. If you look at social media, we have influencers. All right. We didn't have social media influencers years ago.
No, we didn't.
All right. So we're being attacked all different ways. These influencers get up there, they wear stuff. People click on the pictures and say, you know what, I need to have it. This is something that didn't exist years ago. Commercials. Back in the day, we had 3 channels. Now we have hundreds of channels.
Yeah.
That's way more commercials than we had before. I remember the Olympics in Atlanta. That was the first time that the advertisers just heavily got involved in advertising down in Atlanta. I think there was a backlash because Pepsi and a bunch of other people were just throwing their signs up. But you're being attacked constantly. That's one reason. The second reason is shortage of patience. People are not patient anymore. And we live in an Amazon society where we want it tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. And that affects your life. So, Amazon is battling with Target, is battling with Walmart. How can I get it faster? How can I get my food faster? How can I get everything faster? Where you used to wait for something, patiently save and wait. Now it's culturally acceptable now, or they want you to believe it's culturally acceptable to get it now. I can't save for it, so you know what? Let me buy it on credit.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, my grandmother, she had a house built in Maryland, all right? She bought it, she paid for it brick by brick.
Wow.
It's a simple, it's a simple stone house, but she paid for it by brick. So when she got saved up a little bit of money, she bought a couple more bricks. Saved some money, bought a couple more bricks. That story was passed down to my father and my uncle. As a matter of fact, they were there, all right? They passed it down to us, all right? That connection has been broken. All right, so now we don't hear stories of I saved for it brick by brick. Now we're into credit, how to manage your credit.
Yeah,
I don't want it tomorrow. I want it today. Why do people want it today? For us, life expectancy.
Yeah,
when you have friends being killed and murdered, you kind of say to yourself, you know what? Am I going to be around tomorrow? I should enjoy what I can enjoy today.
Yeah,
that has a lot to do with it. Also, black businesses. Back in the day, we had a lot of black businesses, a lot of black storefronts. I remember my dad. He was a barber, and I remember him showing me how to count change. All right, that sticks with my mind. I remember going to the wholesale store, buying sodas and stuff like that. We don't have any black corner stores. All right, so that's not going on. That's not being handed off to the son. Other cultures do it. So and so and son roofing. So and so and son windows. So and so and so and this.
True.
I was at Home Depot the other day, and I saw a bunch of contractors, not us, but they had their kids with them, showing them the ropes. We don't do that. We don't have businesses like that. I mean, there's a comeback. And the people that do, I encourage you to have your offspring, your kids, your son, your daughter, or whoever, a child that you're watching in your group, to have them work with you. This is hard, it's challenging, but it will pay dividends. It will pay lifetime dividends, and the financial strength of your family.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how do we fix it? We fix it by just like working out your body, right? What do you have to do? You have to go to the gym. You need a trainer.
Yeah.
You need a trainer. I mean, I could tell you to budget all the time. The same thing I can tell you this to eat this to lose weight. Sometimes people need trainers. What I would do, I would encourage people to seek out a trainer, a coach. All right, I'm a coach, so you can contact me, or if there's someone else who's a coach, contact them. But it's something that's really going to take hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
I mean, we could say, yeah, they need more of this in the school. It's not going to happen right now. This is an immediate problem that needs to happen right now. I could say, well, it starts at home with the parents, but here the parents need to be taught. You know, parents used to teach it, but somehow that got broken. You could blame the drug crisis in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a more immediate problem. And when that problem happened, it affected a lot of things.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got people sitting off to prison, you got broken houses, you got a lot of things going on. But it also affected people wanting to learn how to do finances. Flash forward to the future, all those kids from the day, they didn't have parents to teach them because they were involved in more immediate, more important problems.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right? And that whole thing is rolling forward. We put an end to that by seeking out someone to help you, just like you would seek out someone to help you to get on a weight program, to lift weights. So think about it. Losing weight, you know, it's difficult, but what's involved in it is pretty simple.
Yep.
It's what you eat, it's lifting weights, and probably going to sleep. That's it.
Yep.
You know, it's a little, you know, it's parsed out to different subsections, but that's it.
Yeah.
The same thing with money. Save your money. Sound good. Do a budget. Sound good. But, you know, you need someone to coach you on that.
Yeah.
And that's what I would encourage. And
All
that's
right.
how you would solve the problem.
That is a good thing, man. How do we teach our kids about money and to stop spending their money on foolishness?
Yeah. You know, the main thing that I would tell someone right now off the bat, pick something, a goal. A long-term goal, a short-term and long-term goal that you want to strive for. It's about living for tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, and stop saying, listen, my people around me are dying. No, yes, they're dying, but you are going to live tomorrow. And our goal here is to try to get more of us to live until tomorrow. And when you have that mindset, then you can start thinking about the future and say, okay, how's my future going to look like? What goals? I want to save for a house. I want to save for something else, some major thing, or major things with an S, all right? And once you do that, then you can start thinking consciously about your money and how to save and become wealth and pass on that wealth to other generations.
That's a good thing. That is a good thing. That is Akbar Hassan. Of course, Akbar Hassan is a veteran financial advisor, counseling individuals and small businesses. He has 3 decades of corporate finance experience in 2 of the world's largest law firms. He unwraps the mystery of money, offering practical, insightful, and easy to understand guidance. Akbar, how do people get in touch with you?
At the barbecue.
I know that's right. This afternoon at 4160 Monument Road at the Fresh Grocer. It is on.
It's on, but you can also reach me at AK Hassan Real on Twitter, and my email address is akbar-hassan@comcast.net.
All right, Akbar, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you, and we'll see you this afternoon.
All right.
We are looking forward to that, and we got a caller on the line. And we're going to get to her on the other side of this break. I am Solomon Jones. This is WURD, and we'll be right back.
Word Radio on the go with the Word Radio app. Search for WURD in your favorite app store today and take us with you wherever you go. Stay connected to Word Radio, independent Black media.
Hello, I'm Keena Sears Brown, Director at Drexel University's Goodwin College of Professional Studies, where we know that ambition can't wait and learning never stops. In today's ever-changing job market, you will need to gain new skills to stay competitive. That's why we offer in-demand, industry-recognized courses, certifications, workshops, and networking opportunities to keep you connected. Skilled, confident you. Develop your career learning path at drexel.edu/Goodwin/CPE.
Support independent Black media and join the Forward movement now at 215-425-7875.
Or visit wordradio.com.
What's up, everyone? I know you know the word. No, not the station, but the word. J-O-B, that is. And our friends at Amoroso's Baking Company are hiring right now. Amoroso's has been baking the delicious breads in our community for over 100 years, and they want you to join their team today. The old and the young love Amoroso's, and they're hiring right now. Check it out. They offer fair pay and provide health, dental, and prescription plans after 90 days of employment. Call Scott Drummond at 856-754-0360 or visit amorosos.com for details.
Looking for an exciting new hotel in a fabulous location? The Cambria Hotel is the place. Located on Avenue of the Arts, this hot new location features modern, stylish guest rooms for that special staycation or your next out-of-town guest. Wind down for a delicious bite at the Trouble and Bass Lobby Bar and Restaurant or Philadelphia's #1 rooftop lounge, Attico. Looking for meeting space? Check out the Cambria's beautiful ballrooms and catering services. The vibe is upscale and never uptight. Book now and save with our special promotional rates. It's the Cambria Hotel, where everybody is somebody. Visit CambriaPhiladelphia.com.
Word family, is me, Solomon Jones, host of Wake Up with Word, and I want to see you on June 28th at the Wellness and Food Festival at the Fresh Grocer, 4160 Monument Road. It's going to be a blast. All of us are going to be out there. We want to see you, talk to you, and I'm going to have some of my books as well. So join us right there at 4160 Monument Road for the Wellness and Food Festival. And please, whatever you do, make sure you join the 4Word movement today and get your membership or renew between now and June 28th to take advantage of our $75 early bird special. We'll see you on June 28th at the Wellness and Food Festival. Be there.
Every voice till earth and heaven ring. This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Black Talk Media.
Backed by popular demand.
It's Wake Up with Word, hosted by Solomon Jones. Right now on Word Radio,
96.1 FM
and 900 AM WURD.
Good morning. This is Solomon Jones on 900 AM and 96.1 FM WURD. Want to remind you that this hour is brought to you by Philadelphians organized to witness, empower, and rebuild. That's right, power. For more information, visit powerinterfaith.org. And I want to hear from you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That's the number you can call to get in on the conversation. I'm going to go back to the phone lines and talk to Carl from Southwest on line 1. Go ahead, Carl.
Yes, I have a question for your former guest.
Go ahead. He's still here. Go ahead.
I wanted to know, what's the difference between a 401k and an IRA, and what is matching fund?
So the difference between that's a good question. The difference between a 401k and an IRA is a 401k is provided by your job, and they usually provide a matching amount. So for every dollar that you contribute into the 401k, your job will contribute a percentage. Sometimes it's 10%, 20%, 25%. Sometimes up to 50%, depending on your job. But the 401k is hosted by a business, by a job. The IRA, you have to go out and get an IRA. All right, so you have to go to a bank or a trading company and open up an IRA account. An IRA, you can put in pre-tax money, or you can put in after-tax money by getting a Roth IRA. All right, the benefit of a Roth IRA is you pay after-tax money, and when you take the money out, you don't have to pay taxes on it. All right, so an IRA is something that you administer yourself by going to a bank or a trading company or an online account like E-Trade or Schwab or like that, and you administer it. It's invested in the stock market, all right, and you take it out when you get 71.5. If it's a Roth, you can keep it in longer because you already paid the taxes on it.
I see. All right.
Okay.
Now the 401k, if I'm self-employed, is the 401k for me?
So for you, because you're self-employed, you would have to get an IRA.
IRA, okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Carl. We appreciate your call this morning on WURD Radio, and Akbar stayed just for you because we knew you had a question for him. So we appreciate you, and thank you so much for that question. Akbar is going to hustle home so he can get ready for this afternoon for us to win this barbecue contest. And we're going to be talking with Brother Shamari a little bit later because he thinks he can beat us. And so we need to just hash that out on the air. So we're going to be talking with him in a few minutes about this whole thing as well. A bunch of teams, man, are going to be be competing this afternoon. Of course, our team, led by my son, Solomon Jones III, the Solomon Jones team, is going to be competing with Brother Shamari's team, as well as our program director, Josh Duncan, has a team, and they coming in trying to bring some black girl magic, because I believe it's her and her sisters. And so we are looking forward to this afternoon and what happens with this team. We want to hear from you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That is the number you can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD Radio. And let us know where you are on any of these things we are talking about on this morning's show. So we got some folks weighing in on Facebook as well. You can, of course, watch us there. Watch us live at 4Word on Facebook. And you can also weigh in on Facebook right there on WURD on Facebook. So we want to hear from you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. We're talking about a number of things, including our top 3 stories, which are story number 1, Pennsylvania Department of Health throwing employees of Hahnemann University Hospital a lifeline as nurses and labor union leaders rallied outside City Hall to keep the facility open. The state ordered Hahnemann to cease and desist its closure plans on Thursday. And story number 2, Alabama, the center of the war on black women. There was a woman who was 5 months pregnant. Her name is Marsha Jones. She got into a fight with another woman. The woman shot her in the stomach, killing her child. And initially they charged the shooter. This whole thing happened in Alabama. And then they dropped the charges on the person who shot her and then charged Marsha Jones, the mother, with manslaughter in the death of her baby. Now imagine you're 5 months pregnant, you get into an altercation with somebody, the person shoots you in the stomach, and the authorities charge you with the death of your child. That is outrageous. That should not happen. That is a mess. And we have to stand up against it. Marsha Jones, of course, a woman of color, a black woman, and that cannot happen. That is absolutely wrong, and it's a miscarriage of justice. And in my view, it is racist as well, because if her name was Marsha Brady instead of Marsha Jones, they wouldn't be trying to charge her with manslaughter in the death of her own child. Are you kidding me? Story number 3, of course, the Democratic debate last night. Kamala Harris, it was a coming out party of sorts for her. She really stood out from the crowd. In my view, I want to know what you think about what happened in that debate last night. So give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. I'm going to go to the phone lines, and we're going to talk to Carl from Northern Liberties on line 1. Go ahead, Carl.
Yeah, good morning, Solomon.
Good morning.
I had wanted to reach Brother Akbar, but I'll just drop on you what I wanted to say. A couple of years ago, the Federal Trade Commission changed regulations, I understand, allowing small businesses to issue stock without having to have millions of dollars in assets and get on the stock exchange. And I'm just wondering if this isn't something that perhaps we should be exploring, because a lot of us want to help businesses in our communities and may have a few bucks laying around and would be willing to invest in some of these businesses. So I'm just hoping that that is something that you might ask Akbar to comment on the next time you have him on the air or whatever.
Will do.
The second thing is, I sort of disagree with you and the sister from Colorado on the issue of pictures that are vivid and maybe gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to understand why the mother of Emmett Till had his open casket shown on all the newspapers and magazines.
Mm-hmm.
Something often has to be done to shock the consciences of people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wasn't that the concept behind Dr. King's nonviolent movement, to have the cameras there to show the ugly brutality that would be exhibited toward us? And did it not produce some results? So I think we have to maybe take another look at that issue.
Here's the difference, though, between Emmett Till's mother showing, deciding on an open casket for herself, and somebody else deciding for you what they are going to show of your misery, right? So Emmett Till's mother showed that And that was her decision to do that. She had the agency to be able to do that and decide that for herself. Whereas the woman who survived this man and her child dying, her husband and her child dying, nobody asked her whether or not they wanted to show this. They decided on their own that they were going to show this. That's one thing about it that's different. The other thing about it that's different is that they don't show white people in these positions. They just don't. It's not something that's done in my field of journalism that I've been in for 20-some years. And so I think that's the issue. Now, if people decide for themselves that they want to show that, that's fine. But for somebody else to make that decision for you, I think is wrong.
Well, reasonable minds can disagree, but
I hear you.
I can tell you that sometimes we have to take one for the cause. And number two, white people are not in the position of being the oppressed. And I think that, desperate times require desperate measures.
Okay. All right. I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD Radio. I want to hear from you. What do you think? Because we talked about that picture yesterday and talked about it fairly extensively. It's a picture of a man and his 2.5-year-old daughter who drowned in the Rio Grande as that man was trying to swim across the Rio Grande. Daughter jumps in after him. Both of them drown, and they are trying to get to this country. And an Associated Press photographer took the picture, and it was distributed broadly. And it just made me think of trying to publish pictures of what is happening right here in Philadelphia with, frankly, white people shooting heroin in Kensington and really taking over that neighborhood, victimizing those people in that neighborhood. There's an outlet here that refused to publish the picture. So we don't often see in the pictures that are shown in journalism, we don't often see those pictures portraying white people at a deficit. We don't see them portraying white people dead in the street. We don't see them portraying white people, drowned in a river. We don't see them showing white people shooting heroin outside like that. You present those pictures and they say, oh, we can't run that. But you run a picture of a brown man and his 2-year-old daughter dead in the river, drowned, right? You'll show a picture of an African child starving with a vulture waiting for this child to die and give it the highest prize in journalism, the Pulitzer Prize, right? But you don't see that that kind of picture of folks who are of European descent. And I'm being honest about it. That is how things have operated, and that is why we have to be very cognizant of the images that we see and who is pushing those images on us and who is shown in those images and who's not, right? And even when they're shown, how are those images positioned? Case in point, and I talked about this yesterday, case in point, Hurricane Katrina. Black people going in the store, getting food out the store, they're looting. They show white people doing the same thing, and they said these people are finding food. Very big difference in the way that these things are positioned, right? With what's now being called the opioid crisis. White people outside doing drugs, shooting dope in front of everybody, standing on the corner, smoking crack while people waiting for the bus. Like, this is what I saw with my own eyes at Kensington and Allegheny, right? Now, for them, that's an opioid crisis. But when black people are on crack and doing all kinds of stuff in the hood, it's a war on drugs. See the difference in the language? And so when we talk about language, when we talk about pictures, and I'm very cognizant of that because language and pictures and creating all of these things, that's how I make my money. That's how I make my living. And so I'm very aware of the difference in language and the difference in who's in the picture, who's taking the picture, who's deciding on what's published. Like, I'm very aware of that. And so I just think that it's something that we need to watch. I want to know what you think. Give me a call, 215-634-8065. I'm going to go to the phone lines, talk to Angel from South Philly on line 3. Go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Another example of he who has the goal makes the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like they never anything that's negative concerning them, you'll never know.
Mm.
And they pick and choose. There's always another language. There's always, it's not so bad. They will always, boys will be boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also concerning the debate last night, honestly, I just think some of them should just be honest with themselves and step back.
Yeah.
Because they know they don't have an opportunity to win. And this is serious. And you have to put your pride aside sometimes. And also, for me, I just think, because some of them are in some form of political position, that to just really take time, and you can really Google them, because I feel like this. If you haven't done anything for the state that you're representing, why would you do anything for anything else?
How about that?
And just really look at the larger picture, and you can't really pick and choose. And it comes to a point that, I don't understand how, when people profess to be Christians, a lot of the stuff that's going on, and they're in a position that they can really do something, that, once again, it's a joke. They put it down. They hide it. When at the end of the day, when white people do things, they always come to the rescue. And, it's like we're all people. God made us all different on the outside, but the same on the inside.
That's right. That's right.
Well, good luck with your barbecue, with the contest today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Talk to you soon, and thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD Radio. That's right. We're going to be at 4160 Monument Road today, and I'm going to have my books. I'm going to have some of my books there. As some of you may know, I have written 10 books. My first book, Pipe Dream, was published by Random House. 8 books after that published by St. Martin's Press, and so all of them centered in Philadelphia. So I'll be signing copies of my books today. So you can come out, and I will sign a copy of one or more of my books for you today. Also going to be barbecuing today, so we're looking forward to that. And we're looking forward to you coming out and renewing your 4WORD membership so that we can continue to do what we do. That's right. Today from 1 to 5, we're going to be at the Fresh Grocer, Monument Road, 4160 Monument Road. We are looking to see you there. I'm Solomon Jones. This is WURD. We'll be right back.
Hear that? That's the sweet sound of Minute Maid slushies at McDonald's, turning up your summer. Every sip, slurp, and brought to you by 3 refreshingly chill flavors like Blue Raspberry, Fruit Punch, and New Sweet Peach. Only at McDonald's and only for summer. At participating McDonald's for a limited time. Minute Maid is a trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Hi, Mark Bott, the founder of Operation KidSafe. One of our year-round child safety centers' grand openings is Friday, June 28th at 10 a.m. Families get a free and private Amber Alert Ready safety form, and they'll be available year-round starting June 28th. Brought to you exclusively by Jillian O'Brien Nationwide Insurance, 15 East Winona Avenue in Norwood. Free Amber Alert Ready forms starting June 28th. Bring the kids by anytime during normal business hours.
Drive in
with Solomon Jones.
Drive home
with Charles Ellison.
This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM
and 900 AM WURD.
Philadelphia, independent black media. Word Radio News Update
with Vincent Thompson.
Good morning. Here's the latest from the Word Radio Newsroom, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. A Montgomery County, Pennsylvania doctor faces charges for illegally handing out what investigators described as goodie bags of prescription drugs to patients. 60-year-old Andrew Berkowitz of Huntington Valley operated a practice in Philadelphia's Somerton neighborhood under the name 8+ Pain Management. Prosecutors said Berkowitz's patients would leave his office with a goodie bag filled with drugs including oxycodone and muscle relaxers. Berkowitz is accused of then billing insurers for medically unnecessary treatments and prescription drugs. Prosecutors said he obtained payments from insurers of more than $4,000 for each bag. He's been charged by indictment with 19 counts of healthcare fraud and 23 counts of distributing oxycodone outside the course of professional practice and without a legitimate medical purpose. Philadelphia's first heat wave of 2019 is now in its third day today and will continue over the weekend. The Philadelphia area forecast for today will be hot and humid, high temperatures of 94 degrees with a heat index approaching 100 degrees. Here are some tips to stay cool this weekend. Take cool baths and showers and splash yourself with cold water. Drink plenty of fluids and avoid excess alcohol. Water is the best option. Identify the coolest room in your house so you know where to go to keep cool, and wear loose, cool clothing and a hat with sunglasses if you go outdoors. Also wear sunscreen. Every Friday, Word Radio News and Thompson Media Man Communications gives listeners our good news story of the week. The Word Radio Wellness and Food Festival will take place today from 1 to 7 p.m. at the Fresh Grocer of Monument, 4160 Monument Road in Philadelphia. The Wellness Festival takes place from 1 to 5 p.m. and a special mixer celebrating Black Music Month will happen from 5 to 7 p.m. Word Radio will broadcast live from 1 to 7 p.m. Come on down, have a good time, and meet many of the Word Radio hosts and personalities, including me. I look forward to seeing you. If listeners have a good news story of the week you would like Word Radio to consider, you can email it to me at vthompson@wordradio.com. That's vthompson@wordradio.com. Checking sports, the U.S. plays France today at 3 p.m. in the quarterfinals of the Women's World Cup Soccer Tournament in France. And in Major League Baseball, the Houston Astros will lead all teams with 3 starters for this year's All-Star Game in Cleveland on July 9th. No Phillies players will be starters in the game. The All-Star Game reserve players and pitchers will be announced on Sunday. I look forward to seeing everyone at Word's Wellness and Food Festival later today. Vincent Thompson, Word Radio News.
Back by popular demand. It's Wake Up with Word, hosted by Solomon Jones. Right now on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Circuits are busy. Here's what's trending.
Yo, that's crazy.
On Wake Up with Word.
Megan Rapinoe, the U.S. women's national soccer team forward, reiterated Thursday that she would not visit the White House. A soccer magazine released video of Rapinoe telling a reporter, "I'm not going to the effing White House if the U.S. wins the Women's World Cup. I stand by my comments that I made about not wanting to go to the White House, with the exception of the expletive." Rapinoe said, "My mom would be very upset about that."
All right, story number 2, an official investigation into complaints of bias policing against the NYPD's officers reveals that the outfit doesn't consider cops using racial slurs as evidence of bias, that the vast majority of people who accuse NYPD officers of racial profiling and bias are black, and the almost unbelievable fact the NYPD has never disciplined an officer for racial profiling and bias policing.
And Carol Martin, a former TV news anchor in New York, and author Lisa Birnbach both say that E. Jean Carroll confided in them after President Donald Trump allegedly raped her in the 90s. Birnbach said she strongly encouraged Carroll to go to the police, but Carroll said she felt responsible for her own rape. Martin said she told Carroll not to tell anyone about the alleged assault because she worried Trump, a powerful New York real estate mogul, could essentially use his team of lawyers to make her life hell. And that is what's trending.
Lord have mercy. That's what's trending right here on WURD Radio. And we want to hear from you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065 as we reset the table, because we got to talk about this, man. With this woman who made these accusations against Donald Trump and finally published it in her book, it goes to Kwesa, the fear that people feel when they are victimized in coming forward. Now, here it is, this woman victimized by Donald Trump. She has 2 different people giving her different sets of advice about it, but she has the fear coming forward when, in fact, she's the victim.
Yeah, and it's interesting because after really kind of seeing her interview with Anderson Cooper, and then just also some of the comments that she's made later, now I'm not going to sit here and say that Donald Trump did what he did because I don't know, but I will say that she is exhibiting all the signs of someone who was raped, and talking about the shame and saying that she felt like she was responsible for her rape, and talking about the fact that she was confused because it wasn't necessarily a violent rape, but she didn't want it to happen, and she said no. And so these are all the things that happen to not women and men who have been through this, and they don't really know how to respond. And so I think that whether or not it was Trump who did this to her, I feel wholeheartedly that she was raped. So, it's just sad.
It is a sad thing. And, it reminds me of this other story that we're talking about with this woman who gets shot in her stomach and loses her child. And the authorities in Alabama charge her. What? Like, how does that happen? I'm trying to figure that out. Like, if somebody shoots me and something happens to me as a result of that, then I am the victim. How are you charging the victim with manslaughter in the death of her child? So she's been victimized, in my view, 3 times. She's victimized because she's shot. She's victimized because she loses her child. And then to add insult to injury, to pour salt in the wound, the state of Alabama decides we are going to charge you as the victim with manslaughter in the death of your own child and let your shooter go. What? I want to know what you think. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. And as we talk about the issue of policing in New York, the NYPD does not consider cops using racial slurs as evidence of bias. The vast majority of people who accuse NYPD officers of racial profiling and bias are black people, not people of color, not people who are brown. No, black folk, right? And then the almost unbelievable fact that New York Police Department has never disciplined an officer for racial both profiling and biased policing. And so, this is a symptom, I think, an illustration of what is happening nationally with policing, and that's why we have to have a conversation about it. It's not to say that every officer is a racist. That is clearly not the case. But those who are, we need to talk about it, and we need to root them out because black people in particular are being victimized by these officers. They do not need to be wearing a badge and carrying a gun in the name of our people. 215-634-8065 is the number. I'm going to go to the phone lines and talk to Gail from the Northeast on line 1. Go ahead, Gail.
Good morning, Solomon and Quasa. My things are just about first the debate, and it just amazes me how we're willing to just escape men's transgressions aside when it comes to what they did when they sat in the Senate, such as Joe Biden and Bernie, when they actually were part of the crime bill. But we're willing to go after Kamala Harris and her record on crime as an attorney, attorney general. Because we do this constantly, and we vilify her, and then we say, well, Biden is our best choice. Well, wait a minute. He did the crime bill. He wasn't orchestrated. He wouldn't have to need it. And we have to sit up there. Then we sit up there and say, oh, well, Donald Trump was accused of this, but it's okay because that's how it goes for men. We got to look at that because that's scary because really, in essence, this is the same thing again with Hillary. They demonized her to the point, okay, she didn't matter. When she did, she knew more. Now we're in this, and people are saying, oh, we need somebody to beat Trump. Well, we got to stop beating ourselves. Because he's the person we need to get to. And about the woman in Alabama, that goes back to abortion. When I told people, I said, all these abortion laws are hitting at destroying black folks. Everything is really set up, but it goes towards black folks. And we have to realize, you take it, okay, she's in the childbearing age. We're going to take her. We're going to lock her up. She'll be out of the childbearing age. And we have to really think about this because a mother, she reproduces. That's black children. And people have to look at these things. It's just not something that comes, oh, this is just abortion law. This is the abortion law that's meant to, like, and I'll take it back to Ava DuVernay. This justice system is doing the right thing it's meant to do. And that's what it is. And that's all I have to say. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate you. And we want to hear from you. So I'm going to go back to the phone lines. We're going to talk to Lamar from Camden on line 3. Go ahead, Lamar.
Good morning, Solomon and Koesa. I was just saying the same thing about your previous caller in regards to people looking at, because there's something circulating around on the internet amongst black folks in regards to going after Kamala Harris. And they talk about her being a prosecutor. And I explained to somebody that those same laws she used to put 3 strikes where you're out were created by the crime bill that was developed by Joe Biden, signed by Bernie Sanders and other Democratic senators. I want people. I want us, we as a black people, to stop letting media dictate who should be the one that represents us. I want media to stop making it seem like we're sharecroppers when it comes to debates, but do not have an agenda for us. On the issue of Buttigieg, it's amazing how we did not know about his past, about how the way he dealt with racial issues with his own community.
Yeah.
But he was this prized person. It was this person that they wanted to set up to believe to be the perfect individual to talk about diversity. When truly, in all essence, he was part along of the establishment, even though he had the power to make change.
I agree. I
just want, Solomon, to try to address us in our own black community, how we continue to let media pick on and denigrate. And I'm just really tired of, the 2 old white men is the way it's going to save our country. Why cannot we have more minorities in representation? We just continue to allow this to happen, in our community.
You know what? One of the things that I think we need to own up to in terms of the crime bill is that black folk were asking for something like that. Black folk were asking for, can you please come in? We got this crack in our community now. It's out of control. We need some help. And so we went to the government and said, we want more law enforcement. We want more help with dealing with this crime. We need you to help us. And so part of it was that we had leaders in the black community asking for it. And we don't want to take responsibility for that.
Yeah, we're exactly right. But see, here's the thing about it is, we didn't realize that what we asked for, we ended up grading a snake's den. Yes, we wanted Cookie off the corners because Grandma was afraid to come out of her house. What we didn't realize was that when they wrote these bills, crack cocaine was given a higher rate. It wasn't treated as a medical issue. But then cocaine, when it was Biff, he was getting less time. So we end up letting them craft these bills who end up in a sense we were crying for just quality of life, which is what police are supposed to give us, a quality of life. This is what our government officials are supposed to give us, a quality of life. But in essence, we sat there and they put a few leaders, which again it comes like the trickle-down water for you. You go to a couple leaders, they then pass it on, and then we need this to be had. But we didn't know the details in which this crime bill was. And I just, unfortunately, it's just I always have an issue with people like Bernie Sanders, who's been in Congress for almost like 60 years. And I'm
forever.
But I can't see one legislation that he has actually championed for us. Not one.
Yeah,
again, I was trying to make it down there. I took off today. I'm booking in from work.
Okay.
I'm going to try to come down because I packed away your pipe dreams. Not so long ago. I got it from back in the day.
Wow.
Signed by you, and I think I need a new copy.
Okay.
It's somewhere in storage. So you said you're going to have your books out there, right?
Yeah, but I only got one copy of Pipe Dream.
Okay.
All right, but you can get The Bridge or Ride or Die or, one of the other ones. Payback, Cream, All right? All right, man. All right, thanks, Lamar. We appreciate you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's the number. Brother Timothy from South Philly is on line 4. Go ahead, Brother Timothy.
Hey, brother, what's going on?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. I want to say 2 things, 2 subjects. I first want to talk about what happened with the debate last night. And I have to say that as an undergraduate, that I was trained and taught on a debating team that don't always be involved with jury speeches when you're debating other schools, that your job is to trap people. A good debater traps people. Kamala Harris came up to the plate, and what she did, she had her information. She's there to win. she trapped Biden.
Yes, she did.
Yes, she did. And guess what? He didn't expect it. And they're there to win.
Yeah.
Now, I hope we can pick some people or two who are just as aggressive to stand up to this establishment. Okay? The other thing, Solomon, you did a good job in working at the big subject of police brutality. We went from eighth and race to Chambers and City Hall.
Yep.
My question to you, sir, what's our next step? What's our next step in follow-up? Where are we going? And you listen, you led the charge, brother, and you're doing well. What are we going to do next?
There is going to be a community forum, and that is going to happen next month. You will hear more about it as we approach the date of that forum, but we will be holding a community forum on this issue in July.
Hey, that's right. Let's keep it alive, man. And guess what?
What?
We'll win.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to win.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD Radio. I'm going to go back to the phone lines and talk to Gloria Hammond from Sharon Hill on line 1. Go up. She's gone. Okay. If you want to get in, we got a couple minutes. So you can give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That is the number. You can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD Radio and let us know where you are on any of these things we are talking about on this morning's show, and let us know what your opinion is. 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That is the number you can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD Radio. I'm going to go back to the phone lines now. Gloria Hammond is back. She's on the line. Good morning.
Good morning. I was already on the line. You got cut off.
Okay. What's your comment?
Hi. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Okay.
That's good. That's good. I was going all week down south. I didn't get a chance to hear you guys, so I missed the whole week.
Oh, man. I feel bad about that.
That's okay. I'm all right. I'm calling to listen to the lady that was shot.
Yeah.
That, she was pregnant, 5 months pregnant, had an altercation with someone else, another woman or something.
Yep.
So the woman that shoots her, she gets up, but she's charged for the crime, and she's the victim.
That's right.
That is clear. Were they both black?
I believe so.
Oh, Lord. But regardless, that's not right. How could she be charged with something that she is the victim?
Yeah, that is the question.
Well, what's up with that? That don't make any sense. Oh, I know discrimination. I already know that. I'm aware of that. I'm just saying that's not right. That is a miscarriage of justice. That's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God. What can we do to help? And what can we do? Get her out of that situation. We got to do something.
You know what? I'm not going to say at this point what we can do. Okay. I do want to do a little bit more research about it and figure out who's already doing something that we can come alongside. But there has to be something that's done. So one of the things we want to do is check with some of the civil rights organizations in Alabama, see what they are doing on a local level and how we can support that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sir. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too. We appreciate your call this morning on WURD Radio. We're going to take one more before we go to break. And so let's talk with Anthony from Delaware County on line 2. Go ahead, Anthony.
Hey, Mr. Jones. Welcome back.
Thank you, man.
Good to hear your voice. Hey, Solomon, I don't know if anyone mentioned this yet, but I've been outside messing with my grass, and it's all your fault. Okay? But guess what, Solomon?
What?
It's starting to work out. It's been a year and a half, maybe 2 years, but it's getting better.
Yeah, it takes time. That's what I'm learning, man. It takes time.
Yeah. And, it's like the book of Job, man. We just have to have patience.
That's right. That's right.
I want to mention to you, did anybody mention that Willie the Worm Monroe passed away?
I saw the story on Willie the Worm Monroe, and it's funny you mentioned that because I wrote a story on Philadelphia middleweights years ago, man, when I was writing for the Philadelphia Weekly, and Willie the Worm Monroe was one of the people that I covered in that story. Him, Eugene Cyclone Hart, and Benny Briscoe were the three middleweights I wrote about. So I was sorry to hear that he died.
Yes, 73 years old, Sicklerville, New Jersey. I actually worked with him at the Inquirer years ago.
Okay.
And he used to love to spar with me on the platform. And then one day I got lucky and hit him.
Uh-huh.
He told me, man, you hit too hard. I said, boy, you got some nerve. That's a story I want to tell you about him, but I don't know if anyone mentioned it, but he was a hell of a fighter.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He was one of the legendary Philadelphia middleweights, and he will be missed.
Yes, he will. And I'll see you this afternoon, Solomon.
All right. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'll see you then. We're going to be out, of course, at 4160 Monument Road at the Fresh Grocer. And so we are looking forward to seeing each and every one of you. We're going to go to break. And on the other side, we are going to continue the show. I am Solomon Jones. This is WURD. And we will be right back.
You've got it.
The rapping professor, Dr. Aaron Smith, will be in the community now more than ever.
I'm out in these streets.
With Word Show on the Go. Hosted by the rapping professor, Dr. Aaron Smith.
Holla at your boy.
Learn where you can catch Word Show on the Go at wordradio.com.
Or search the hashtag Word Show on the Go.
For more information, follow us on social media at onWURD. And stay tuned to Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
And wordradio.com.
Hey everybody, it's the Rap Professor. We want you to come party with WURD Radio for our annual Food and Wellness Festival. We'll also be holding our annual Best Barbecue Contest as part of the festival. And I'll be hosting live. This will be the final day to start or renew your 4-word membership at the special early bird rate of just $75. That's Friday, June 28th at the Fresh Grocer on Monument Road, 4160 Monument Road. Bring the whole family.
B2B is on a mission to save our children. Shoot for the Stars basketball camp invites you to sponsor a deserving student for their boys and girls basketball camp from July 18th to July 19th at the School of the Future located at 4021 Parkside Avenue from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. The cost is just $250 per week. Your support will play a vital role in helping them provide valuable basketball instruction to students, both boys and girls, from the ages of 8 to 18. For information, call 215-778-6259.
WordRadio.com.
Need a new mattress? Stop by to see Julian, the Mattress Man, located at 7421 Stenton Avenue. You deal directly with the owner, Julian, to ensure the best prices on name brand mattresses like Sealy, Posturepedic. Call 215-424-5550. That's 215-424-5550.
Do you have high blood pressure, diabetes, kidney issues, thyroid problems, sleep apnea, cardiovascular disease, tooth problems? All of these issues are related. Slaves were appraised initially by their teeth on the auction block. Having a healthy dental condition usually translates to good overall health. Champion Dentistry wants you to have both. Call Champion Dentistry today, 215-473-4717, and schedule a dental consultation. That's 215-473-4717.
I would like to play a little tune I just composed not so long ago.
Hey family, do you like hearing the best jazz selections aired by 3 of the best jazz announcers in Philadelphia? Well, tune in to 96.1 FM,
96.1 FM,
and 900 AM, WURD Radio, independent black media for Freedom Sounds of Jazz.
Freedom Sounds of Jazz.
Hear Freedom Sounds of Jazz 10 p.m. Fridays with your hosts in rotation, Aquila, Jonathan Bay, and David Fritz. That's 10 p.m. Friday nights on WURD 96.1 FM and 900 AM independent black media.
We are
Progressive and proud and interactive.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at onWURD. This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia.
Streaming live at wordradio.com.
It's Wake Up with Word, hosted by Solomon Jones.
Good morning.
Right now on Word Radio,
96.1 FM
and 900 AM WURD.
Good Good morning. This is Solomon Jones on 900 AM and 96.1 FM WURD, and we are taking your calls this morning at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That's the number you can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD Radio. Let us know where you are on any of these things we are talking about on this morning's show. So I'm going to go right to the phone lines and talk with Red Fox from West Philly on line 1. Go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Solomon.
How you doing?
Fine. I was listening to you when you were talking about journalism and your journalistic practice.
Yes.
And just like it said, in many cases, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
It is.
Right? But again, like what you're saying, the 1,000 words have to lead up to the picture.
Yeah.
Or the picture has to correspond with the 1,000 words. So, and I learned in psychology that a person that's insane can't be sane at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So when we see pictures or we have the aspects of our writings, we have to keep our minds safe. Are we leading in the path of insanity, or are we being justified with common sense? You know, my father told me that. He was an orderly at a hospital. He said, you can't be crazy and have good sense, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's either one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
It took me to go to psychology class to learn what he was actually saying. That's what my father was saying. You can't be insane. And now they're giving us insane stuff, right? Off the media, like the girl getting shot and she being the victim.
Right.
And she getting arrested. We'd have to be insane to think that. You know?
Yep.
These are crimes that are being committed, right? With no outlet. So it's actually making people insane. So you can go out and do whatever. That's how people are thinking.
I hear you, man, and I want to thank you so much for your call this morning on WURD Radio. We appreciate you, and thank you so much for your call. We're going to go back to the phone lines and talk with Lulu from Mayfair on line 3. Go ahead, Lulu.
Good morning, and I'm hoping that you'll give us the recipe to the secret sauce. But I do have a concern. As the person just mentioned earlier about the person being shot, hopefully something can be done about that as a whole. But my concern, if you have not heard about on Ridge Avenue, the 2900 block,
they
put a mural up there of a slain officer. And you know, I feel bad about that because, you know, these are people who put their lives on the line daily, every day. But there is a concern about the culture of the police officer. And to have this life-size mural, which was defaced, and the values are sort of misplaced because they're offering a $10,000 reward for the lowlife, as the FOP president called the person, from defacing a mural. But people who get shot and killed, and you can't find the people to arrest. You don't offer no reward for that. I just think there's something wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and for those who don't know what you're talking about, the mural was a mural of Officer Robert Wilson, who worked in the 22nd District, and he was a black officer. He went in the GameStop at 22nd and Lehigh, and was there actually to buy a birthday gift for his son, who liked video games. 2 men came in to rob the place. Officer Robert Wilson got into a shootout with these 2 men who had him outflanked. They were on either side of him, and they shot him to death. And the mural is on Ridge Avenue of Robert Wilson. I've driven by it many times, and somebody defaced that mural of Officer Robert Wilson, which I think is reprehensible. Because, you know, here is a guy, man. He was a good dude, man, and he put himself in harm's way, and put himself in the line of fire, and saved other lives in doing that, quite frankly. And to have his mural defaced, I think is wrong. And so we'll see what happens with that. But we just have to remember, man, that we are dealing with a system of racism within policing, and not just the Philadelphia Police Department, but in policing, period. But that should not in any way besmirch the individual character of those who are actually trying to do the job well. You know what I mean?
I understand that,
Yeah.
sir, but I mean, if you go back even further to the Ridge Avenue riots and things that they had, I mean, there were businesses there, thriving businesses there at one time that blacks had, and they always had to undergo the racial profiling and things they had to take. But I mean, yes, it is a shame about the officer, as I mentioned before, and he's a good man, but why can't they put his face? It's like, why can't he put his mural somewhere where it's wanted? Did he interact with the community? I mean, did he? What was?
Well, here's what I would say, and the man is dead, so I'm not going to say anything bad about him, and I'm not going to question whether or not he interacted with the community. What I do know is this: that on that day, when they came in to rob that place, and those people were in there unarmed and helpless, that he did what he was supposed to do, and so in my view, he deserved respect for that, if for nothing else. I don't care what else he did. If he did that, he got my respect. Because a lot of people who wouldn't do that, even if that was their job. I'll give you a case in point. The dude that was down there at Parkland, Florida, in that school where the guy came in and shot up the school, he the sheriff deputy outside the school. He's supposed to be the guy to confront the shooter. He hides like a coward. And these kids die as a result of him doing that. Wow. Robert Wilson did not do that. He did his job. And so for that, he has my respect.
I hear you, sir. You enjoy your day.
All right.
And bring home the ribbon. Bring home the cup.
No doubt. No doubt. Thank you very much. We appreciate your call this morning on WURD Radio. We are going to go back to the phone lines and talk to Maurice from Southwest on line 4. Go ahead, Maurice.
What's up, my brother?
How you doing, man?
Now, as far as Mr. Robert Wilson that passed away, the cop.
Yeah.
Well, I attended his funeral, and you couldn't even get on that block. The black community was out there showing most respect. So whoever did that, it wasn't a bunch of white boys that came and did that. We know that. So we know somebody of our people, mine just wasn't right. And they thought they were doing something, and they were wrong.
Yeah, it's not cool.
That was a brother that was protecting our community.
Yep.
That put his life on the line. But as far as with this photography he was talking about of the Spanish guy and his daughter, see, we got to use that the same way they do to us.
And how is that, Maurice?
Huh?
Your phone is doing something. Call us right back. We'll get you right back on. Your phone is doing something. It's making some kind of noises or something. So call us right back. 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That's the number you can call to get in on the conversation. Do you remember, Kawesa, when the story with Robert Wilson happened? Do you remember that?
I do remember that, and it broke my heart.
Yeah.
It broke my heart because of the fact that, and I've said it many, many times, on the air. Most of the men on my mom's side of the family, were cops, and so I can't even imagine the fact that you're not even working. You're just trying to go in there to get your son, a game for his birthday. You're not thinking about the fact that you might not be able to be a part of his birthday the next day, and so it's heartbreaking, and the fact that he was killed like that should have never happened.
Yeah.
It should have never happened.
Yeah.
And so for someone to deface that mural, ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous. It's we gotta realize, man, that when we are fighting injustice, we have to be very targeted. We have to be very intentional. We have to know what we want, and we have to know why we are taking the actions that we are taking, and what outcome we are hoping for. And so my question is, what outcome are you hoping for in defacing a mural of a black police officer who died protecting black people? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What outcome are you trying to get from that? And I know all of us aren't necessarily there, and all of us aren't necessarily at the point where we realize that, when we do stuff, we need to be doing it for a reason and for an outcome. All of us aren't there. But I think that we have to, at some point, get there and realize that if you're doing something and you don't have any outcome in mind, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? You know what I mean? If it's not going to change anything for your people, and you call yourself standing up against injustice, why are you doing it? Right? We have to get to that point, man. And so, you know, I understand that everybody not thinking that way, but we got to learn how to think that way. So I want to hear from you. Give us a call, 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. You know, it's been interesting for me, man. I was I went to Uncle Bobby's yesterday, Mark Lamont Hill's place, because I like to patronize our businesses. I like to drop a couple dollars in our businesses, and so I went there and I got my little Danish and I got my little coffee and was sitting down and writing, and I was sitting next to someone who, quite frankly, has been talking a lot in favor of gentrification in the Germantown community, and you know that's her thing, and you know, if that's what you want to do, you go ahead and do that. She is not a person of color, but she's sitting down with this young brother, and the young brother is trying to sell her on doing this mural. He wanted to do a mural, speaking of murals, and talking about how much money it would cost him to do the mural. And I'm sitting here, I'm trying to write an article because I'm supposed to be doing this book review for the Inquirer. So I'm writing this thing, and I can't help hearing them, and the brother's dropping all of these F-bombs and this and that, and yeah, well, you know, talking about how we are victims of injustice, and F this and F that and F the other. And so I realized that I knew this woman, and I spoke, and she introduces this young brother to me, and he's like, yeah, well, you know, I'm you know, on the forefront of fighting for justice for our people, and you know, they don't F with us and this and that. And I'm like, and I'm looking at him, and she explained to him, you know, Solomon Jones on the radio, he's a writer. But you know what? As I went away from that conversation, he gave me his contact information, and I won't be in contact, because if you're not intelligent enough to know that you can't speak that language to everyone and have it received in a way that will be beneficial to you, then you're not ready. You're not ready, right? And so what I need our people to understand, man, is that your language is going to determine how people perceive you, right? And it's going to determine how people are going to respond to you, and whether or not people want to be bothered with you, right? Now, if that's how you talk with your friends, that's one thing, that's cool. But if you are coming to me, right, or to anybody who's in a position to help you, then you need to adjust your language, right? And until you get to the point where you know, okay, I can speak this way to this person and have it received. We got to do better. I think that, and you know, it's a shame because the brother seemed like a smart young brother. Some of the stuff he was saying was off, even besides the language. But we need to learn how to present ourselves, right, in such a way that, guess what, you can be accepted in the street. You could be accepted and understood in a boardroom. You could be accepted and understood amongst people who are not from your culture. Because, see, that stuff might have been impressive to this woman who really is a gentrifier. You're really sitting down with your enemy for real, for real. You don't even know it, right? But, you know, it's not impressive to me. You know, I want you to be able to express yourself in a way that I know that if I bring you into the spaces where I can bring you in order to help you and elevate you, that you're not going to embarrass me. That's what I need to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm really starting to really look at folk and say, okay, I want to help you, but are you ready? Because some of us, Kawesa, some of us ain't ready.
You're absolutely right about that. And I think that, you know, what you're saying speaks to, you know, something larger. You know, in order for us to be heard in certain spaces, we got to come correct.
That's right.
We have to be able to, you know, not only be able to move in that space, but then also be able to work with those people in those other spaces. And you can't do that when, people are standing back, clutching the pearls like, what did they just say?
Yeah.
What's going on? So, there is something to be said about that. And it doesn't mean that you have to necessarily lose yourself or lose your identity because you are communicating with other platforms and with other people. It's just a way to get to the next level. And when you get to that next level and you make your own space, then do what you want.
Yeah, exactly. But until then, you have to be prepared to move, man, in circles outside of the ones that you're used to. And that's one of my you gotta learn how to talk. And especially if you are presenting yourself as a communicator, you have to learn how to talk to folk. And how to present yourself in a way that people will be able to receive you. If I can't see past the F-bombs, I can't hear you because I'm still trying to deal with the fact that you don't even understand who you're talking to. So that's just my pet peeve for today. We're gonna continue the conversation right here on WURD Radio. I'm Solomon Jones. This is WURD, and we'll be right back.
The Shamari Show. Fridays 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Word Radio. And streaming live on WordRadio.com and the Word Radio app.
Have you been involved in a car accident, injured on the job, or a slip and fall? Call Chiropractor Dynamic, 267-691-5305. Do you suffer from neck or lower back pain, or just want to try something different for your aches and pains? Then call Chiropractor Dynamic, here to help with giving you the right treatment to getting your back into shape. Don't lose time or money for your aches and pains because you didn't know. Call Chiropractor Dynamic now, 267-691-5305.
Be heard. Want another way to join the conversation? Follow us on social media using the hashtag onWURD. Be heard. Stay connected to Word Radio. Independent Black Media.
This Black Music Month vignette is brought to you by PA Lottery.
Born Patricia Louise Holt Edwards, Patti LaBelle was lead singer of Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, who later became LaBelle. In 1966, the group released their first album titled Somewhere Over the Rainbow. In 1974, they broke into the mainstream with disco classic Lady Marmalade. Patti LaBelle started her solo career in 1977 with her self-titled album, which featured ballad You Are My Friend. She received her first Grammy nomination with The Best Is Yet to Come, a 1983 collaboration with Philly native Grover Washington Jr. That same year, she released her first #1 hit, If Only You Knew. In 1984, LaBelle released pop hits, New Attitude and Stir It Up. A beloved and revered artist and member of the Grammy Hall of Fame and Songwriters Hall of Fame, Patti LaBelle continues to entertain and inspire.
This Black Music Month vignette was brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older residents in your county. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
The Kimmel Center offers free arts education programs to schools across the region. Teaching artists visit classrooms to educate, engage, and inspire the next generation using creative learning experiences, and schools take trips to the Kimmel Center for live performances. The Kimmel Center is committed to educating Philadelphia's youth by providing access to quality arts. For more information, visit kimmelcenter.org.
Hi, Mark Bott, the founder of Operation KidSafe. One of our year-round child safety centers' grand openings is Friday, June 28th at 10 a.m. Families get a free and private Amber Alert Ready safety form, and they'll be available year-round starting June 28th. Brought to you exclusively by Jillian O'Brien Nationwide Insurance, 15 East Winona Avenue in Norwood. Free Amber Alert Ready forms starting June 28th. Bring the kids by anytime during normal business hours.
Now, with more clarity, this is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Streaming live at wordradio.com. You're waking up with Word, hosted by Solomon Jones. Good morning. Right now on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
Good Good morning. This is Solomon Jones on 900 AM and 96.1 FM WURD. And joining us now on the line is our very own Eric Grimes' brother, Shamari, one of the hosts here at WURD. And you are going to be in the barbecue contest, brother Shamari. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I don't think it's going to be much of a contest.
Uh-oh. 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 Is that shots fired?
I'm not cooking, so I can talk a lot of stuff. I hope my team delivers, though. I know we know how to fix cars and grow food and publish magazines and fight, but I don't know if we can cook.
You don't know if y'all can cook?
We're going to find out.
All right, so who you got on your team, man?
I decided to throw together some of the voices behind the recurring guests that I have on. So I pulled JD's from JD's Auto Body and Painting in the mix. I got my brother Richard Oliver from the Parapet Group. I got Eric Nzaridi going a little diasporic on it, from Fun Times Magazine. And then I got one of my people from Top Walk Academy, our food growing program, Brother Keith Quick. So I went with the old heads, man. I think the old crusty brothers should know how to do stuff with the barbecue, right?
Well, look, I went with a different mix. So I got my son, Solomon E. Jones III. The boy learned everything about cooking that he knows from YouTube, right? So I got him.
How old is he?
He's 14.
You see, you violating child labor laws.
Nah, man. No, because I just know he is a veteran of cooking shows. The boy knows about these cooking shows, and he also knows about YouTube. And when my wife went away, when he was 10, I was like, Solomon, what we going to do? He got on the stove and whipped up something. So I'm like, okay, he can feed us in an emergency.
There you go.
So he ready. He is ready. I got him. I got Akbar Hassan, who is a financial consultant, but he is also the great-grandnephew of Frederick Douglass, Brother Shamari. So we're going to be having some freedom burgers that we're going to be bringing off the grill today. Right?
Does he have that Frederick Douglass hair?
That's right. So we got
Douglass pass that down across generations.
Look here, that's what we're gonna have to do. And then we got the queen of barbecue, my wife, Mrs. Levita Jones, who has made almost every barbecue for 20 years, man. For 20-some years, she has been the person on the grill, not only at my house but at her parents' house, making it happen. Wow. So we got a team of grillers, man. So we hoping to win today.
Well, keep hope alive. But I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to this. I need you to help me with something else.
Okay.
It's a health and wellness fair. Explain to me how hot dogs, burgers, and chicken.
Look, bruh.
Health and wellness fair.
Look, I just work here. All right. So, but
we got to put some vegetables on the grill somehow, don't we?
Yeah. Well, that's what the onions are for. That's all. You got some onions, so you better eat some of them. That's all you're gonna get, bruh. That is it. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Hot, though.
Yeah, it is gonna be hot. So dress cool, wear something cool. It is gonna be hot. But we are looking forward to bringing home that trophy, whatever that trophy is. We are looking forward to bringing it home, Brother Shamari. And we appreciate you and the old heads, but, I had to bring in some young energy, man, so we can win this thing.
Well, we'll see. It's old school versus new school.
That's what I'm talking about. YouTube.
You got a sister in your group that might give y'all a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
Brothers start competing against each other.
Yeah. And forget about the food. But we'll see, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing you this afternoon. Brother Shamari, good luck in the contest, but just not good luck against us.
I hear you, but it's coming this way anyway.
All
good
right.
luck, bad luck, we take it.
Yeah, okay, we'll see. We will see. That's Brother Shamari. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. So we'll see. We're going to see what happens a little bit later on today, man. It's going to be a great contest today. But like I said, man, we got the spirit of Frederick Douglass in our camp. We have also some YouTube knowledge in our camp, and we've got 20 years of experience on the grill with my wife, Mrs. Levita Jones, who has made every rib, every wing, every burger, every hot dog, every hot sausage for years in barbecues at several houses over the years. So we're excited about it, Kuwait. So we are very excited.
I'm excited too. I can't wait to see what y'all are gonna do. Cause yeah, last year I'm not gonna lie, we struggled a little bit, but
Okay.
but our burgers were good. I mean, our food was good. It just didn't. It just didn't look so great.
look good.
We didn't know all the rules, so we were like, "Oh, we gotta plate it. We gotta make up names. Get your names together.
Yeah.
Get your names together for your plates, because you know that's gonna be important. We got dock points for that, so it's gonna be fun though. And everybody just come on out. You know, renew your membership. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna give you hugs and just welcome you back to the family. So.
Well, maybe we should name like one of our dishes like after like a famous Frederick Douglass speech. So we could call it like the "What to a Negro was the 4th of July burger." What do you think? How does that? No? Too much? Too long?
Might be a little just a little. Why don't you just call them Freedom Burgers?
Call it the Freedom Burgers. Call it the Freedom Burgers, and then we could have the our hot dogs could be. Let's see. What would Solomon? Maybe the YouTube dog. You know what I mean?
No, I feel like Solomon Jr. Well, the third. Excuse me.
Yes, that's
Apologize.
right. That's right.
I feel like he would come up with some really great names.
Okay.
I think so too. So just tell him to start working his magic now. Text him now. Just be like, yo, you can do this. You got this.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We can name it after, I don't know, one of the cartoons he was watching when he was coming up. Yeah. We call it the Krusty Burger after, you ever see it? What's the SpongeBob?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Look, we got to be creative with this thing. We'll see. We want to hear from you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065. That is the number you can call to get in on the conversation right here at WURD Radio, and let us know where you are on any of these things we are talking about on this morning's show. We are preparing. That's right. We are getting ready. We are getting ready for this afternoon. We're going to be at the Fresh Grocer, Monument Road at 4160 Monument Road, for an afternoon of family fun, food, and great health information. Not only are we going to have the festival from 1 to 5, but then after that, there's a special Word Black Music Month happy hour mixer from 5 to 7 p.m. So bring the whole family for that, and I'm assuming that part is going to be inside in some air conditioning where you are not, outside and it's 90-some degrees. So that mixer from 5 to 7. So it really is a beautiful day for something like this, and we are so excited about seeing all of you there. So, and the other thing, of course, is the memberships. We want y'all to come down, renew, or sign up for your membership there. And I'm going to have copies of my books, so you can come out, you can get some of those books as well. So we're excited about that, and we're excited about you. So come and join us this afternoon at the Fresh Grocer of Monument Road at 4160 Monument Road for an entire afternoon of family fun, food, and great health information featuring a live broadcast and all of your favorite WURD hosts. So we're talking about a number of stories this afternoon, including our trending stories, which include story number 1. Megan Rapinoe, the U.S. women's national soccer team forward, reiterated yesterday that she would not visit the White House. Soccer Magazine released video of Rapinoe telling reporter, "I'm not going to the effing White House if the U.S. wins the Women's World Cup." And she said she stands by her comments, and she's not going to the White House. And that is story number 1. Story number 2, an official investigation into complaints of bias policing against the NYPD's police officers reveals that the NYPD, the New York Police Department, has never disciplined an officer for racial profiling and bias policing. That is crazy. And of course, story number 3, Carol Martin, a former TV news anchor in New York, and author Lisa Birnbach say that they both heard from E. Jean Carroll in the 1990s that President Donald Trump had raped E. Jean Carroll, and that she confided in them about her story. And just heartbreaking, man, that people have to hold on to these things, man, for so many years. So I want to hear from you. Give us a call at 215-634-8065. Let's go to Muhammad from South Philly on line 1. Go ahead, Muhammad.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, Solomon.
How you doing?
Good. Just want to congratulate y'all on the festival today. If I get through there, bro, I'm not feeling no YouTube hot dogs.
Well, okay, so we got to name it something else.
I'm not feeling no crusty burgers. You know, that freedom sound good, but if the sisters ain't cooking, I don't know.
Well, I got a sister on my team. I got my wife on my team.
Yeah, but what you say, Levita?
That's right.
Now, that sound more like a pleasant meal.
Okay, all right.
Or Quasar, but no crusty burgers.
No crusty burgers from the brothers. You don't want the brothers cooking crusty burgers? All right, you too, Muhammad. We appreciate your call this morning on WURD Radio. We'll see, man. We are excited about this afternoon and excited about just coming out and really seeing and interacting with our listeners. We don't get to do that as much as we would like. Of course, the last couple times we interacted with y'all, it was about business. It was about that Rally for Justice Coalition and about making sure that they understood that the people have power. It was making sure that they understood that, no, we will come to police headquarters because that is our building. It was making sure that they understood that, no, we will come to city council and make sure that you hear our voices and see our faces and know that we mean business. And so that was business, and we are going to continue that business. There's going to be a community forum coming up next month on this issue. But today is all about fun, man. Today is all about us coming together and just enjoying just some food and some fun and putting the kids in the bouncy houses and just all of that. So we're looking forward to a Kuwaisa. I think it's going to be a good time.
I think it will be too, and make sure that everybody's coming out. Wear loose-fitting, cool clothing. Make sure you have your water, and it's just going to be a fun day had by all. It's really going to be for the family, and it's just going to be nice. It's going to be nice. Come out, get your membership. It's just going to be a good day.
Yeah, it is going to be a good day. Of course, I will have my books, and I will have them available to sign. So come out for that as well. Again, we just want to see you. We want to see you, and we want to say thank you in person for just being such a loyal listener and for being part of the WURD family and for being part of what we do here in upholding our community and just pushing, man, for us to do better as a people. And we are excited about that. We are excited about you. And so we are looking forward to seeing each and every one of you this afternoon at the Fresh Grocer of Monument Road at 4160 Monument Road. That's going to do it for today's show. As always, I want to thank our guests, registered nurse Talia Gottesman, Taylor Allen of Colorado Public Radio, financial consultant Akbar Hassan, and our very own brother Shamari. And now, for super producer Kuwaisa Mathis, I am your host, Solomon Jones, saying tune in Monday at 7 and catch us this afternoon at the Word Wellness Festival. That's going to be at 4160 Monument Road from 1 to 5, and then the Mixer from 5 to 7. Check us out then. But then after that, check us out Monday at 7 for more Wake Up with Word. Peace.
Come party with the Word family. This Friday, June 28th from 1 p.m. till 5 p.m. for our annual Food and Wellness Festival. Join us at the Fresh Grocer of Monument Road, 4160 Monument Road, for an entire afternoon of family fun, food, and great health information, featuring a live broadcast and all of your favorite Word hosts. The day will include Zumba, chair yoga, led by Daybreak host Halana, health screenings, a healing drum circle, a kid zone featuring face painting, stilt walkers, and a bouncy house. And of course, our annual Best Barbecue Contest with special guest teams, including Solomon Jones III and Brother Shamari. And you can qualify to win a barbecue feast for 10 people. The fun continues at 5 p.m. with a special Black Music Month happy hour mixer until 7 p.m. hosted by Envy McKee of The Envy McKee Show. This will also be the final day to start or renew your Forward membership at the special early